Joey Night, shadow in the dark. Through the streets like a fiddle, leave a mark. Bad man, title, earned scars from the struggle. Tangle with the devil, got grit in the hustle. Battle first, ever thirst for a second place. Eyes like steel, put a punk in the place. Locked in the cipher, words cut like blades. Galverse warrior, born and raised. Joey Night, baddest man on the scene. City lights shiver when he steps in the beam. Galverse royalty, crown never dull. Stride like a panther, mind always full. Caught in the crossfire, he dances with fate. Witty with the wordplay, venom in his state. Narrative at nights where danger's breath lingers. Villains fall silent, can't outmatch his stingers. From alleys to stages, wielding heavy artillery. Death in his bars beyond just the imagery. Heart in the beat, soul in the spit. Legacy of a legend, nothing counterfeit. Joey Night, baddest man on the scene. City lights shiver when he steps in the beam. Galverse royalty, crown never dull. Stride like a panther, mind always full.
Check it out. Feel the rhythm of the bass mark. Better feel the rhythm of the bass mark. Hip and come and come around and test me. Jump it up, get up. Bite all my stress. Temperature is rising up 2,000 people.
Oh yeah, Joey C's walk and talk. It's a sight to see. He's got the moves, he's got the groove. Oh, can't you see? Joey C's walk and talk. It's a melody, catching all the attention, making heads turn. Can't you see? Oh yeah, Joey C's walk and talk. It's a sight to see. He's got the moves, he's got the groove. Oh, can't you see? Joey C's walk and talk. It's a melody, catching all the attention, making heads turn. Can't you see?
Well, good evening to all my lovely, lovely chat room. What's happening, Donks? What's happening, Kahua Nui? What's happening, Gina Bobina? What's happening, Job Ronnie? Son of Penis Wrinkles here. What's happening? What's Pops doing? What's going on, people? Happy Friday night. Vlad the Dragon, I ain't seen in a long time. What's up, Vlad? What's going on? Salty, named Redacted. That's what I'm saying, Bob. What's happening, people? Friday night. It don't be late, you know. Friday night, you got no date, so don't be late. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sirree. You know, we know. It's what, about 11:30? That was about 10 minutes. I was deciding if I was gonna use StreamYard. You know, I just hate StreamYard. I didn't even ask anybody to come out with me tonight. I don't know what they're doing. Kahuna probably needed a night off. I don't know what he's doing. Jason's after this, but you know, I don't know where Commissioner is. He hasn't reached out to me today, so I'm just gonna hit there and wing it, man. And we're gonna do what we do on Night Talk, but we're gonna change it. I think we're gonna do Pillow Talk. I like that. Pillow Talk with Joey Night. I think we might go with that. That is a good name. I think I like it. So I think we're gonna use it. If you sign off and you gave it, that was your idea, Gina Babina. I like it. If you sign off on it and say we could use it, I'll put it in the title. I'll start using it on for next week's show. So all you gotta do is say thumbs up, and we're good to go. Hit the like button, you cowards. Well, they've thought we had a great Night Talk stream last night. Wonderful, 100 memberships. We're 420 strong. Thanks to all of you. And do I see 500 members after tonight's show? We're 80 members away. 528 days of being monetized. So that's a pretty fast pace. I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy to see that. And it just goes to show that there is a lot of love out there. So we're gonna do what we normally do. We're gonna just interact with you guys. We're gonna shoot the shit. We're gonna laugh and have some fun. We're gonna get things cranking here. You know, let's do our thing, man. So turn on that gifted membership. Don't forget to do that. I stink getting in the shower. Oh my god. Well, you are the real gay monkey on everybody's back. It's cool. And I know you've been going to blowjob classes. That's what I heard. And you're going to be a pro by the time you're done with those classes. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're our thoroughbred, baby. You're the man. We love you. No, I'm just kidding. Kahuna's the bomb, man. I love Kahuna. I'm starting to learn to bust balls a little better in a joking way. Kahuna can take it better than anybody. Kahuna Nui is like the shit. This guy is like so popular. They all love him. You see him in the thumbnail today for the Lunatic Lounge? They all had suits on. They all looked all professional. They all looked good. That was actually a good thumbnail. I'm sure it was AI, face swap. But Kahuna goes, I don't wear suits. I go, yeah, you guys look tough in it, man. You guys look great in there. I mean, 2K it was just awesome, man. I thought that was a great job. Bobby Nix does a great job. And matter of fact, it's a good idea. I think I see Bobby wants to come in. Well, I'm gonna ask Bobby to come in. Me and Bobby just sit down and do talking and be good, feed off each other. I like the karma when Bobby's on, man. He gets things going. Maybe Scott too. Maybe the three of us. Kahuna give Kahuna the night off. That's what we're gonna do. Kahuna Nui, you get the night off. Don't take that shower and just forget about the shows, man. You don't have to come in today, brother. You do so many shows and you're always there for us. And so I'm gonna go ahead. I know they go over to Jason, but they can come over here for a while. What the hell? They don't go to. They'd be late for Jason. So Jason Bartle don't like it. Tell him to come talk to me. We and him can talk. We get along good. Me and Jason. We'll hash it out. I'm borrowing a couple of his guys. What can I say? We're supposed to be sharing. We're sharing, right? All right. So where's my boy at? Bobby Nick in the house. Bobby, come on with me, bro. Come on, Bobby Nick. Come on, bro. Come on with me. Just me and you, with me. You and I. You and I. You and I. You and I. So, I mean, did you guys see the name that Gina wrote in the chat? She said, Pillow Talk with Joey C. She said, that's a name. I gotta agree, that's catchy. It's not too feminine for me though, because I'm a pretty masculine guy, I'm not really up on that being too much with a lot of femininity, but Pillow Talk, that's not, I like it. It's catchy. I like it. One of my great shirt that Alex Stein gave me. Pimp on the Blimp. Prime time 99. Where's it? See that? I'm representing prime time pimp. Pimp on the Blimp. Alex Stein is the real original Pimp on the Blimp. He is a shidizzle. He is awesome. That man, I love the way he goes after people. And he don't care who he gets. He'll get the white supremacists. He'll get the Latinos. He'll get everybody and go into the city council meetings and just ask for big booty Latinos. That's his motto. Or he'll call Bobby Kennedy Jr. right out and say, we got to talk about your uncle's assassination. I love him to death, man. Alex Stein's a great dude. He does a lot of great things, man. He's just awesome. Carl, people don't realize how big Carl is. Carl is big. Carl does a lot of shows in like big cities, Chicago. I mean, he's always booked somewhere. Carl is very, 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 very cool. I like it. It's smooth. It is smooth. Thank you. So we're going to use it, and we're going to give you all the credit for it. I'll make sure we put your name on it. Thank you for that. Appreciate that very much. Sorry, donks. Slow learner. Kahuna Nui. Why do you not have a membership? Do I have to ban you for not representing the proper way? Dream Man, what's happening on? The gang is here. Donks, let me see what my man Donk said. One of my friends said his girl was so inexperienced that he had to teach her how to give a blowjob. All right. I mean, my 58 years, I think you run into a couple people that don't have an experience. I think it's very feasible. Some young men and some young ladies, they're sheltered their whole life, and they don't know. They're just they take that sacred. That's going to be the time when they get married. It's going to be a sacred thing, and that's when they when they be in love, which is a wonderful, beautiful thing. That's the proper way you do things. So yeah, there are, but it doesn't matter, man. If you love somebody, trust me, it will be fine. So here's what Donk said. He said he had to teach her how to give a blowjob. I just looked at him and said, "Well, who taught you how to suck a dick, motherfucker?" You got his ass. You slam dunked his ass, didn't you, dogs? Oh my god, that was good. Now that was good. That what do you do when you look at you? He's like, damn, he caught my ass. Did he go like, oh damn, you got me? That was perfect timing too. That was good, donks. That was good. I bet he was so salty. Oh my god. All right, man. We got Gonzo, my man, Gonzo Shika, Joey C Nation for life with his one member for 1 month. Are you going? You better believe I'm going to DabbleCon. You gonna come? You popping up there? I know it's got to be close to you. I'm coming. We're driving. Spider's coming. We're gonna unleash him. He's loved by so many people. A lot of people wanted to get their hands on him, and I'm gonna unleash him at DabbleCon and let him just roam and meet the fans and go hang out with Shuli and Carl. I just talked to Carl a little while ago through email. I had to add. I think Kahuna knew. I think I got him talked into going with us. We're going to go with Catalano TV. He's one of our third mics. So he's like, man, I don't know if I can go get time off. I go, listen, you get to Florida or you could meet us there. You're coming. So I think it'd be a great idea. And I started letting Carl know if he could add 2 more people to the VIP for me. Definitely one for sure. Kuna hasn't committed yet, but Kuna's like, I got to pay for ticket. You know, you're going to go with us, man. We got you back, man. All right. We got Salty Name Redacted. Gifted 1 Catalano TV membership. That is a big thank you. We now have 421 members. Do you realize, and you guys know where I stood 6 months ago in this Dabbleverse, I had a lot of supporters and I had a lot of haters. I would never think I'd be this many members in 28 days of being monetized. I mean, either because I don't want to hear, oh, they're just trolling you. For chats, I would say, yeah, if we get these are memberships, people trying to get gift memberships, they're trying to keep people to build a channel. That's the people that love you. So I got to be doing something right. I'm not saying I'm doing everything right. I got to be doing a small portion of something right to have that kind of love. That's all I'm saying. I'm so grateful. And Donks, would you agree? Because me and you, we were on the same page on a lot of things. But I love you. You could write that shit all day long, man. Send that to me. We'll use it. We'll put you up there and say another one great two-liner by Donks, man. You know, but I mean, Gonzo, right? There's a small portion of something I'm doing right. I'm not perfect, and I'm a long way from being what I would call a broadcaster. I got a lot to learn. For me, it's to learn how to find the right person to go to feed off of. When I'm doing a show like me and Kahuna, we got good chemistry. If I can get that going and then just get more professional, not cutting the person off and just coming the timing perfect when he's done talking, it's going to be good. I practice a lot. I do a lot. I'm trying to learn the whole thing. You know, to do. I want to make StreamYard's too plain. You know, it's just dull. I mean, I want to. Eevee Mux is a lot better, but they got more gadgets and they make it look fancier. When you're streaming. But I don't like StreamYard at all. Let me get to all my lovely people in the chat. So 421 strong, 79 away from 500. You think we could do that by the end of the show? I'll stay on 3 or 4 hours today. If I could walk out of here tonight, whether it's 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Gonzo, I just sent you an email. I will get on it right now. Thank you, brother. I was just looking for you. I got Gonzo and Gonzo here, my 2 buddies. You know that? Ain't that great? Gonzo and Gonzo, they are 2 different people. And they're both great guys, man. Great people. Gonzo says, Donkey Kongton. No, yeah, Donks is on fire. There's my boy, Kip Smith, the greatest gamer around, who just likes good old-fashioned ribbon, likes to just come in and enjoy himself, smoke a blunt, go game, and that's what he likes to do. And he'll tell you, I got to go now. I got to go hit the game. I got to go play the game. He's laid back. He's cool. Donks has been on fire. Donks is just, where's my man Ross Dog at? Where's Deadpool at? I think he was in I saw him earlier. He was in someone's chat. He was in the Lunatic Lounge. I sent Bobby Nix a thing. I don't know if he's coming in or not, but it looks like maybe the link busted or so. Let me see, because it's red. I don't know. Try to send him another link. Maybe that link. There it goes. Now, all right, Bobby Nix. Delete it for you. Try again. It never went through. That's what happened. No wonder he's not here. Now he's got the link now. You sent the link. Bobby Nix, if you're listening, if you're hearing me and you're on the wire and you're hearing Joey C or Joey Night, I sent you a link. It'll be just you and I. I figure we could chew up a little and talk a little bit. So bring your handsome self over here, and let's tell Bardo you can put. You'll be there, and you'll be there. You'll be there. Maybe a little late, but you'll be there. I don't think he'll mind. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna talk. We're gonna interact. We're reading the chat. We're gonna interact. We're gonna talk. We'll talk about whatever you want. I don't care. We just talk. We just talk. We just want to interact. My night show, this talk show, is all about for you guys. It's not me making anything about a show. The morning show is a little different. The walk and talk is a lot different. I wanted to do this stream 4 days a week for you guys, just to interact with you guys and get to know each other, to know everything about every detail about you. You know about me. I think Bobby Nix is in the house. And there he is, folks. The one and only, my main man, Bobby Nick in the house.
Hey, Joey, how's it going, man?
What's happening? I said to myself, I said, Bobby Nick, I just love you to death, man. I said, maybe I'll ask him to come out and be just me and him to jar a little bit and see what we can get going on here, And I said, I know you got to do the Jason show, but he'll be a little bit late. I don't think he'll mind. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. No.
So, yeah. What's happening, Bobby?
Not too much. Not too much, man. Did the Lunatic Lounge tonight? Went pretty good. Pretty funny stuff.
I'm going to tell you something about the Lunatic Lounge. That thumbnail, I don't know who did that. You or Jib. You guys dressed to the nines in them suits. You guys look like a mafia group, bro. You guys look tough, badasses. I love that picture.
That's all Jib's work. That's all Jib's
Beautiful.
work.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
He always does some pretty cool thumbnails for the shows.
I just think you guys look good because you probably are not a regular suit. You're not a normal regular suit guy. I know Kuna says he never wears a suit.
No, I've never worn a suit in my life ever.
And you see how good you look in it?
Yeah, right. I know. Maybe I should get one, huh?
Yeah. Hit the town with that suit, man. You might have all the ladies following you all over the place, man.
Never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Never know, man. I was always told, like I said, my father was a really good father, but every once in a while he would say something that would be all right. And he always used to say, you got to dress to impress. Always be dressed to impress. That was one of his famous lines. So we're just coming off. We did the morning show. We completed our first week of our morning show, and Kahuna and I were working well together. I think we had a great week.
Yeah.
I'm liking the show. I'm digging it.
Yeah, you guys gel. You guys gel.
Gelling pretty good, man. I like it. So I'm trying to talk him to go to DabbleCon because now that we know Spider's going, and out of all the events that I went to, Hackamania had nothing really to do with anything with the Catalan TV. It was me just to go out, meet some fans, and be a spectator and a fan myself, and to meet, square things off with Melton, and meet Mason, and WATP in Largo, which was close to home here, which was a great event but it got me to meet a lot of people, a lot of the fans, and to hang out with Carl. But I think DabbleCon is the key because it's in New York on the East Coast where most of the Dabbleverse people are. You know what I'm saying? A good percentage of them are on that end. So this is a big opportunity, I think, for the channel. So I'm like, you got to go, Spider. And then Kahuna's like, I want to go. I said, so come on.
Yeah, go.
Let's go as Catalan TV. So
yeah, that'll be awesome up there.
I think it'll be good. Yes. We got Miss Kitty. This lady is the best. Let me tell you something. She's a hardworking lady, always at work. She gifted 30 memberships yesterday, 20-something last week, and she's on a roll already today. Miss Kitty, thank you for the one TV membership. The bell. I got to get me a bell. Thank you. Well, no, she likes this now. We got something special for Miss Kitty. We got something special for her. I hope I have it here. I do. Which one was it now? I don't remember. I think is it this one? No. Oh yeah, no. Is it this one or is it this one?
Slap him like a bitch. Slap.
That's not it. No, that's not it. Where is it? Me and no, it's here. We got a little here. Oh, here it is. I think this is it.
kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Kitty, Bobby Dick.
There you go. There you go.
Ah. That's a good one. So Gina Bobina got in the chat room before I went live, and she's on fire tonight. She says, "You want a rocket name for the show?" She said, "Pillow Talk with Joey C." And it's got a ring to it, don't it?
Pillow Talk with Joey C. Oh,
Yeah. She
yeah,
said that.
I kind of dig that, Joey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. So if she's given that as a gift to Catalan TV, that great idea, I'll use it. I'll give her all the credit. Because it does it. It's got a smooth. It's not rough. It's it's just, I like it. I really do. So that was a big thumbs up for that one. So Jason didn't. I see they didn't do a morning show, and I guess he called off. I don't know if he was he all right? He just overslept, or he was just.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him all day. I know he was promoting Bored After Death earlier though. So
Yeah.
he's
And I
alive.
saw. Yeah, he's live already. Is he live already? It's like
No, I said he's alive.
Oh, good. That's good. That's good news. He is. They scheduled a morning show for the morning tomorrow. I just saw the thumbnail for
Yeah,
their. Yeah.
There's one
So
tomorrow, I guess. So
yeah, that's
looks
good.
like it's gonna happen tomorrow.
I'm gonna not stream on the morning show for the weekend. I'm gonna do the Monday through Friday, and tomorrow. I'm trying to do something special. I want to do a movie night, which obviously you'd have to go over to Rumble to play a movie. You couldn't do it here because we'd be channel we buy by it. And I want to do it for the fans because I walked around today kind of with a giggly smile all day, because a lot of crazy things have happened in the Dabbleverse with us and my family and streaming and interacting with people and better than anybody. I remember a couple times when you were doing a show and you had that one question. I just can't figure out why they troll him so hard. It was like months into it, and you were like, you just couldn't understand it. And people were all like that. Why are they just staying on his ass? And I mean, they're getting deep, and it's already like 8 months. They never. Did you ever see them stay that long with one person? People say never.
Yeah, and usually not the same ones.
And I watch a lot of people like yourself say that, but it's okay. With all that, we're today's day 28 or 29 and be monetized. And I'm so grateful and I'm the type of guy and Kahuna does that morning show with me, right? And he's not an employee. I didn't say I want to hire you to be the second mic. You want experience? We like you, come on over. But I told him today, whatever we take in on this morning show, and I'll put it in writing, is YouTube takes 35%. We all know that. I think Jim figured out to be about 38%. So I'm going to cut it to 35. That leaves 65%. I'm going to keep 15%, obviously, for the show or anything we need for the show or equipment or whatever break. And I'm going to split the other 50% down the middle with Kahuna. I think it's fair. I'm that kind of guy. I'm going to give him 25%. That's because that's just what I think it's fair. It's the right thing to do. And and he was like, wow, man, that's cool. And that's just how we are, man. I don't care. Listen to me. I'm 58 years old. I blew every opportunity I could to be successful or have any type of where I'm going to live comfortable. I live, my check comes in, I pay my bills. As long as they're paid, I got a roof over my head, I eat. My kids are all grown, got their own careers, and they're all gone. My grandkids are okay. So what do I really want? What am I going to do? I don't really travel and go on extravagant vacations anymore. I'm a homebody, I like being with my wife, So a lot of people helped us. So the other thing I wanted to do is people like you've come over and done shows and you're gifted members. So I also schedule a percentage every month when I get my YouTube. Is I'm going to go around to the people that supported me that are streamers like you, and I'm going to gift memberships to your channel, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go pay back, just show the love love you for that. And my wife goes, that's a great idea. Even Kai said that's a great idea. I said, I'm gonna Gibbs come over and he throws me money all the time. You send gift to me. I'm gonna show you guys love on payday, and I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go help some people like I'll donate a couple dollars to people that are just starting out. I think for me, I'll be driving on the street and I'll see someone you can tell they're hungry and they're panhandling, and I might have $3 in my pocket. I'll take and give it all. I don't care, and they might go buy beer. I don't know, but I feel better when I do it because I don't want nothing in return for that shit.
Yeah, man.
I just want to help. I've always been like that. I've never tried to be a selfish or greedy. Now, we all know my bad traits is I had a lot of anger built up in me, and like a lot of people, they say the quietest person in a room is the guy you really got to watch out for more than anybody.
That's true.
A very true fact. A guy that never speaks much and is really pleasant with everybody. If you make him angry, I would tell my advice to people is clear that room and go far away from that man as you can because it's going to be explosive, and that's a fact.
Yeah, man.
But so what's going on for the weekend? I saw that I think Wendy called in on the Lunatic Lounge. How's she doing? Everything all right with her?
Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing good. I think yeah, she's not bad. She's not bad.
Good.
And yeah, for the weekend I'm gonna be in the lounge tomorrow. And you know what? I gotta say, Joey C, thank you for coming in to
come on, man. I enjoyed it.
Giving me a little scratch. Appreciate it.
What I wanted to say is I think it's a genius idea what you did, man. That's pretty cool. You're like a podcast disc jockey. You're interacting. You got to get everybody loves you anyhow, and you're playing some songs, and you don't have to sit back and worry about I'm not going to get strike because I could do this here. And you roll, and I think it's a brilliant idea. That's why I want to do movie night tomorrow night, and I wanted to get some ideas. And we'll do a 3-hour movie, and we'll just sit back as the channel and all the people that support us, and just let's watch a movie and have fun, man. Obviously we can't all be in the same room together and have a big meal together, but hopefully someday that could happen. We could have one big block party with everybody that loves us, and same with your channel.
You know what though, Joey? I've done movie nights tons of times on StreamYard, and I swear to you, it's the closest thing you'll get to being in the same room with a bunch of people that are all over the world.
You're right.
Because it's a bonding experience, 100%.
I agree.
If you have people on and you got the movie going, you can all laugh together. You can all joke on the movie together. It's fun. It's really fun.
That's really right. Fun. I agree with that. I had a special movie that I wanted everybody to see. It was a movie made in 1982 or 83. Jimmy Caan, who recently has passed, has left us. James Caan was a great actor. He played a tough guy in a lot of his movies, and obviously Sonny Corleone in The Godfather. He did a movie in Chicago, all filmed, called The Thief. He was a guy that he went to jail when he was 18. He caught a manslaughter beef while he was in jail. He killed the guy because the guy was trying to kill him. So he picked up 8 or 9 more years, and he got out when he was like 32. But he had this vision. He took clippings. He had a piece of cardboard, like say one you buy in the store that you would a poster board, and he had about a page about that big, and he folded it in his wallet, and he had cutouts of things that he wanted to accomplish. Like he had, a picture of a man and woman getting married, so he visioned that he wanted to have a nice wife, kids around there. He had 3 or 4 businesses. He had a picture of a bar in there, and that he wanted to have a lounge. He had car lots. He had a car lot. But also he had, because he had a lot of ugliness and being in prison all the year, he had a cemetery and a lot of people dying. So even though he made this collage and he was going to accomplish everything, but the way he did it, it ended in death anyhow. You understand what I'm saying? And losing everything. And he was a professional thief, and Willie Nelson was in this movie, and Willie was his mentor in prison. And Willie caught some kind of terminal disease, and he knew that. And James Caan was playing Frank, and he was a master thief, and he learned everything from Willie Nelson. And Willie knew that he had a lot of, he was doing well, and he could buy him to get out to die. He didn't want to die in prison, he wanted to die out, outside of the walls. So he got him out. He fixed the trial, fixed the judge to get him a writ of habeas corpus. He got out, and he collapsed on the stairs of the jail, Rushmore Hospital. He got to go there. He whispered his ear, and he died. But he made his dream come true to not die in prison. And then he's got this wife, but this mob guy wanted him to be working for him, and he didn't do scores for anybody. He was a one-man show. He only went after diamonds and cash. And this guy kept telling him, one score, big score, you're out. You want to leave us? When he tried to leave, they killed his best friend. They beat him up and knocked him out. And then he's told him, I own your ass. Your kid's mine because I bought him. I'll put your wife on the street to be fucked. And he's like, listen to this. So he don't say nothing. He gets up, and then he went on his tear. He went home. He told the wife, get the hell out. We're done. Take that fucking kid and go. He blew his house up. He went to the bar. He blew his bar up. And he went to the car lot and saw a car on fire. And then he went back to the house of the mob guy and got his ass. That's what he did. He said, nobody owns me. It's a great movie, man. All filmed in Chicago.
What's the movie called?
Thief with Jimmy Caan. Thief. I think
Thief.
it was
Thief. Okay.
And Jim Belushi was in it. Jim Belushi was his partner. Of course, the brother of John Belushi.
Yeah.
And it's all because the Belushis they're from Chicago, So and I think Jim still lives in Chicago. But it's a great movie. Great movie. Michael Mann is the one that directed it and wrote the movie. He's a great director. He does a lot of great movies. And then they had Johnny Santucci in there. Now, Johnny Santucci was the real thief. He was hired to be a technical advisor to show Jimmy Caan what a master thief does that only specifies in cash and diamonds. Because Johnny Santucci grew up in my neighborhood. He was a second story guy. He was the best in the business. He was a master thief. So they hired him, and then they gave him a part in the movie. He played the cop. For the first time in his life, he's always been a thief. In the real life, he played a cop. He wanted to play a cop, to kind of, to be funny about it, because cops were always trying to get him. So now he wanted to be the cop to pursue Jimmy Caan. Funny, and it was great. Johnny Santucci, man. Yeah. And he wound up passing away a few years later, I think, too. But he had a dream, but, he did at least that movie there. Donkey Kongton, member for 2 months. Yo, man, I bullshit a lot, but I love y'all. But we donks, man. You bring it, dude. Yeah. Excuse me. You're the shit, man.
Donks is awesome.
Love the guy. Awesome. He said, Donk Kong, thank you for the $2. No homo. That's my man. That's my man. So you gonna have the normal crowd tonight on Jason's show?
You never know what you're gonna get there.
Yeah,
Joey.
Man, I love it. You guys are cooking, man.
Yeah, there's a mix of people, a lot of regulars who come around. Sometimes you find new people in the chat too, and
great,
on the show as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was funny yesterday. You and Jason I'll be back at the same time. You both went and took a shit. I think at the same time yesterday.
Probably.
You said, I'll be back. I got to take I'll be back. I got to take shit. And it was just hilarious. And then you left Tiffany and Bubby and 2K, and they just, it was like,
where's everybody going? Everybody got to take a shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't even know that. I left first.
That's hilarious. So. Yes, you did. Yeah, and Jason was right back. Well, here's the commissioner. Speaking of the commissioner, are you off work? Because you're supposed to be doing this Friday night show with me. Because, Kahuna needs a night out. Are you coming on or what? I brought Bobby Nixon to chit chat with him for a while. But do you want me to send you a link, Commissioner? I'm going to send it anyhow.
Get in here. Get in here.
I'm telling you, these hours that you make and that, you're not, you're just not being right, man. I mean, come on. What do I got to do here? I mean, I already got Kahuna say he's going to be firing me soon. I mean, I'm on my way out. He's taking over. And he told me yesterday I'll be fired way before Mrs. C will be. She gets priority. So, and she's looking at me and going, that's right. So they're all running me out of here. They're running me off my own, that's all right, Your
own network.
What am I going to do, Yeah. I don't fish. I never really was a fisherman, so I can't go fishing in the pastime. I don't like golfing anymore because I get frustrated trying to hit that little ball and I'm always slicing it. So I get aggravated on a golf course. I love riding motorcycles, but I don't have the strength to do that full time like I used to until I get myself better, healthier. So I sold my bike, but I can always buy another one. But so that really is out of the picture. I don't go to the horse track anymore and gamble horses anymore. That did it for a long time. So that used to be entertaining. I go out to the track and just clock with a little timer and clock race horses while they're trotting and warming up. And I used to do all the handicap and I knew everything about horses. But when you know too much, that's when you lose because you're putting all your thought into everything, the speed, how the last quarter of a mile, what horse is dead by the time he's a 3/4 pole. Which one went out of the gate too fast and he got a real fast quarter and burned himself out. He got all these things together that jar, and then you think on paper you got the right horse to bet, but then you wind up losing because a long shot comes in because they're so corrupt and they stiff you anyhow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
So, they're a lot of corruption in horse racing. A lot of corruption in horse racing. A lot of
I've never gambled. I never gambled on anything ever.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that. I really, I got in back in 2008. A good friend of mine, he had caught a case, and I went to every court case with him because I would drive him because he didn't have a license. And it was getting to the end that he knew he was going to go back to prison. So the day that the last court date was, they were going to find him guilty, and then they were going to take him to custody. And then 2 weeks out, they would give him a sentence. Now he had just been out of prison. He only been out of prison about 12 months. So he knew he was going. There was no way he wasn't going to get prison time. And hi, honey. Huh? And is that Commissioner's here? All right. So he knew his days were numbered. But his old lady was getting ready to have a baby. What's up, Commissioner? We'll get to you in a minute here. And so he calls. I show up to pick him up for court, and he's not dressed in a suit. He goes, we're not going to court. He had a duffel bag. He goes, take me out of here. I'm lambing. I said, man, you're going to make it worse. He goes, I don't care. They can find me. I know I'm going to prison today. He said, so let them cop the warrant and let them see how long I can stay out on the run before they catch me. So he goes, you did say if I ever needed a place for a hideout, do I get things together? I said, yeah, come on. So it was in the winter months, so I wasn't working baseball, and I was doing my taxi thing. So my morning pickups, and I come back from lunch, and he goes, and he's in my office in the back part of the house, and I have this file cabinet that he was checking out something. I told him if he needs his pens, and I had all my losing tickets for scratch tickets in that file cabinet. Now, these were the $25 tickets, and he counted $35,000 in losing tickets, and he had them on my desk, and he goes, man, oh man, I knew you like to buy scratch tickets, but you're deep into this. I go, yeah, but that's only about 30 grand. I said, but I won overall for the year. I'm up about 10 grand. I used that for tax write-offs because if you could show gambling losses in your taxes, it is a write-off.
Oh, really?
And that's why I save it. Yeah, you save it for the tax guy so if he needs that proof, because you're allowed to write so much off for gambling. Huh. And he just thought, man, I never seen that many losers. I go, but I got a lot of winners too. It balances out. You can never go by the day. Gamblers got to go by the month and then by the year. You don't go by, okay, I lost last week. I had a bad week. You're going to have those. You're going to have 2 bad weeks. You got to judge it out by either in quarter increments, like every 3 months, or every 6 months, or by the end of the year. And that's what happens. What's that, Dave? So, Commissioner, is the team on the road?
The team's on the road. They're in Long Island.
You say hi to Bobby Nick?
Hello, Bobby Nick.
Hey, Commish, how's it going, man? How you doing tonight?
Doing good.
So there's Jason. What's up, everybody? So the team's on the road, is what you're saying.
What's up, Jason?
Yep.
All right. So you're just slumming. You're slumming and being a bum, but that's what you're doing.
No.
And you got a vehicle and you wiped it out already on the second day you had it?
Excuse me. That's because it was wet out there and I was turning and I slid.
Do you know what they call driving in hazardous conditions means?
Well, I was trying to see. I didn't know it was going to rain. I was trying I thought it was dry enough. When I took off from the stadium, I guess it wasn't dry enough.
Do you ever hear a thing called black ice? It's things you can't. It's on highways. It's usually when it's cold out, and truckers warn you about it because it's just a very thin sheet of ice that's over blacktop part of the, and you can't see it, but it's very slippery. You know,
you can't even see it.
Can't even see it, and you could pretty much, if you hit it the wrong way, you could go very bad for you. Now you got this new car. How fast does it go? But it's really a motor. It's really a scooter, right? It's not a drive scooter. It's like one of those. What are they called?
E-scooters, electric scooters.
Oh, you got an electric scooter. So here you are. You're on top of the world with your new e-scooter, not an e-bike, e-scooter. You're driving around all over the place. You're cheesing at everybody. Look at me. I'm commissioner. And I see you probably saw a little girly girl. You turned her, and that's what really happened. So I know you. You probably were like flirting, and you wiped out.
Nah.
I
Actually,
don't know. I kind of believe that story more than yours.
Yeah, me too, Bobby.
I was actually out earlier riding, and I moved speed up, Bobby, to 40.
Ooh,
to
that's
go
fast
40.
for a little scooter.
It actually goes 60.
60? You don't think it goes 60?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Wow. I would not recommend you doing 60 miles an hour on that thing.
I'm not getting there yet. I went 40 and I had that's too fast. I'm gonna go back down to 22.
Wow. That's dangerous. I'm glad I'm glad I'm thousands of miles away from you because that's gonna go bad for a lot of people.
You know, he was telling us. You know, he was telling us the other day. He has to control this thing from his damn phone.
I do.
What?
Yes. Everything's on my phone. Oh, my phone's dead, so I can't show you.
How much you pay for this thing?
This scooter cost around like $250.
$250?
Yeah.
I could have got Pops downstairs who's a crackhead and homeless. They got him right down the street, Ybor City outside. He could have got you one for $50. And we could have got it to you. And all you had to do was break the censor code and you know, we were at another state and paint it, and you would have saved $200. You know, things do fall on trucks every
It's okay.
While, you know what I'm saying?
This scooter's it got insurance on it. It's got Allstate insurance.
I hope so because you're gonna need it.
Oh, don't worry. Just wait till I get
got room for a little date on the back. Can you take a date with you on the back, and you guys would just drive around?
There's room I could put her on her back if she holds on tight.
Really? This is interesting. I would pay.
Just wait. Just wait till I get the gimbal. Just wait till I get the gimbal, and I'll stream me riding the scooter.
Wow. What do you think of this, Bobby? Him going down with a 60-mile-an-hour scooter. He's getting a gimbal. His little girlfriend on the back hanging on tight. And him just the wind blowing. You just picture it now. Him where he's always smiling, cheesing with his Oakley glasses on, and just cheesing down the highway. You know, not a care in the world.
It's gonna be riding in style,
man. You should drive. You know what you should do? You should get that to DabbleCon too somehow. Go take it there. Take a train back and go put it over. Go and ask Vinny to get it stored here, and you can drive it around during DabbleCon, and we can do some kind of a thing like bit with it, or like the circus act. We'll dress you up as a clown, and you could you know what I'm saying? We could do something like that.
Nah.
No, you don't want to be a clown?
No.
Come on, man. You're perfect, man. You know what though? I think that you're gonna steal the show once people are like, "Is he really coming?" When you walk in that door because you got so much love, it's gonna be you're gonna feel the love when you walk in. Trust me when I tell you, it's a great feeling. Donk says, "You get a haircut, Commissioner Sparks." You see, you better get a haircut. He's right. I'll be having my eyebrows done, trimmed, my hair all perfect. Everything will be good, man. My little nose hair is out. My ear hairs, I'm gonna go get it all done before we leave. So the game plan is
Dream Man. Yes, but they got scooters that goes 150, but I didn't get that one. The more it is, I think it goes by speed, and the more it costs.
Really?
Yeah.
100. They must really want to. They really must not like people. They really might want to depopulate the world by 150 mile an hour. There's at that speed.
That sounds very dangerous.
Crazy.
Very dangerous. I think the commission needs a helmet.
Yes.
For the one that he's got.
I agree.
He already made it fall, so.
See, I don't even know how much longer I'm going to have the scooter for. I might be getting an electric bike.
Wow, you're really moving up. You're big time these days, huh?
If I get
Well-
the bike, they said the bike goes 70 miles per hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Bicycle 70, but get more stability out of the bike. That scooter is at a high rate of speed. You got no stability to control that thing. That thing will be all over the place, especially with the wind. At least with the e-bike, you got a little more. You're sitting on top of it. Here, you're standing up on this thing, and the faster you go, you're gonna lose a lot of balance, man. I gotta imagine that it's got to be not too good. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's okay because as long as I got the perfect outfit for you to wear, all right,
Oh,
I really do, and I'm gonna show you. I think that if you dress with this and you really, really get into it, I think we are on to something. Okay. Now I don't know. I just thought about it. This is a very interesting photo that I think it's right on the money. Now let me see what I did with this photo. I gotta find this photo. I don't. Hang on a second. Just bear with me here for a minute. But I thought I saved it already. I gotta go back now. Hang on. Let me see what I did with this photo. It's you all the way. It's really. I think it's you. I think if you wore this outfit and with the smile that you got, the personality that you have, I think it would go really well. I think everybody would reciprocate and people would just, let's put it this way. I think you'll have no problem getting a date if you're with that scooter with this. It's perfect for the scooter, this outfit. And the way you smile and the way you charismatic, I just got to say that you're the only person that can pull this off. And you'll get a lot of dates, trust me. I think you'll get people throwing themselves at you. And I think that's a good thing. You're young. You're still a young man. And I think, I don't, why I'm saving a picture. Where the hell is the picture going? It's not staying where I'm supposed to be staying here. Oh, no wonder. I know why. I got to take it off custom file here. All right. So wait, I don't know if that's it. No, that's not. All right. So I can't do it that way. All right. This is one of the technical issues that Kai is good at. I'm not good at this. How's there another way I could do it? Let me see. Yeah. Maybe I could send it to Bobby and Bobby could show the picture. I think I could send it to Bobby. I'm gonna try to send you a picture on X, and see if you could show it. I'm not this computer savvy. Kai usually does all this stuff, and let me see if I copy if I does it have links? So if I go here, I go like that, and I'm gonna just copy it or open image, save image, or copy image. Right? Try copying it, see if I could get it to Bobby, and maybe Bobby could present it. But I think Bobby, once he sees it, Bobby's gonna agree. Oh yeah, this is the shit. With this outfit, I think he'll have no problem getting any dates, Bobby. You tell me if I'm wrong. When you see this picture, yeah, you got it. I sent it to you, Bobby. I think you're gonna say the same thing. If he goes like this with the bike, I mean, he'll get a lot of people wanting to date him. Because they're gonna like, oh my god, look at how cool. You know what I'm saying, Bobby?
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So,
Let's check this out. I'm sharing it backstage. Just pull it.
Oh, there's how you did it. Okay. So this is what I think you should wear. It's perfect. That's you had Richard Simmons. You got Spider Simmons here. All right. You got the smile. It's the perfect laced shorts. You got the strong legs. I really think that you will have a lot of dates, especially in the Dabbleverse. I think a lot of people will come out and just throw themselves at you because they're going to think you're really hot in this outfit. What do you think? You think I'm right here? Huh? You like that picture?
Look, I like the picture, but I'm not wearing nothing like that. No.
Come on.
You're representing Richard Simmons. You're Commissioner Simmons now.
No.
He was a happy guy. He's full of life. I mean, you were Pee Wee Herman once. I mean, why can't you be Richard Simmons?
No. I don't know who did that Pee Wee Herman stuff. I didn't do that. That was all Kai, not me.
Well, this was complimentaries of Kai as well. He gets the credit for this.
Mm-hmm.
And but I initiated it. I'm the one that called you that. And Kai right away went right to work because he thought I was sending him a message that I wanted to see you in this outfit. And, you know, I never steer you wrong, kid. You know that. Never would I steer you wrong. That's the money shot right there. You'll have more guys wanting to be with you than you'll ever imagine.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No.
You could come out because you'll be happy. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. You will be gay.
All support.
We'll be gay.
We'll all be right with you.
Gay as in happy though. Gay as in happy. You know?
Gunzo says, "There you go, Bobby. Lots of dates with trannies."
I don't think so.
Gina says that's bad advice. Leave my spider alone.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, Gina has always had a soft spot for Spider, or commissioner of a Catalano TV. So, how many games you got left? You got the rest of this month, which you've got a big homestand coming back.
And then September, that's it.
The first couple of days of September, it's over, right?
I think it's I forgot the day. I'll let you know. I'll look at the calendar.
Now they tanked the first half of the season, right? They were pretty bad, right?
Yeah, they're buried now in the second half too.
They're buried already. They're out. Now,
they're not going in the second half either. They only won two.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They only won 2 games. And I think they lost 9 games already in the second half. Only won 2.
So they're 2-9 for the second half.
Yes.
That's like a 153% win percentage. Wow, they're pretty bad. Boy, these guys must be really bottom of the barrel. The owner must be cheap. He ain't going after quality guys. He's getting the guys that are like been really deeply injured that they're, that are just the bottom of the barrel.
Well, they're bringing people that it started off in the first half. They left, and they're bringing them back.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonzo says, and Gonzo speaking, it's like E.F. Hutton. When Gonzo speaks, everybody listens. Joey, if you are giving that kind of advice, lead by example. Yes, sir. Right away. Now, what was I going to tell you? So the team, that's a shit. By coming here and we're all going to drive and stream and have a good time, you know where we're going. You get to see your boy.
Yeah. He's
the manager in Rochester.
Yeah.
That's right.
I said that. They got games there.
We get to go see Lee.
Yeah, they got games there that week. We go there.
I know. We'll get to go out to the ballpark. You and I go to hang out in the clubhouse.
Yeah. I'm a Texas tickets too.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah. We'll be at the event at night when they play Friday, Saturday. But we'll be able to go out like before the event starts and go do batting out to the clubhouse and just hang out with the guys and LeCroy when the fans are in the park while they're doing BP and shit. You know what I'm saying? And just shoot the shit because he'll want to see you for sure. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
LeCroy's the best, man. LeCroy was a coach when we were with the Nationals one. Spider and I, or Commissioner and I, and he's a great dude, man. He manages the triple team in Rochester, and he's been around baseball for many years. And he took Commissioner under his wing a long time ago. He's been out to his house. He bought him a suit for graduation. He went to his graduation. They're really close. And it happens like that when you get when
we had him on by during spring training. We had him on here.
Yeah, we did. We had him on here during spring training, and he's an important guy to the organization. He's a very knowledgeable. He was a major league catcher for 8 years. Matt LeCroy, who caught for the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota, he was a major leaguer for 8 years. Great guy. Now, have you got to go out and check out any streams since you've been working? Because Bobby Nix is on Rumble with this great. He has it where you Rumble ran him $1 and he plays music. That's his setup when he's there right now in the background, and it's so awesome. I mean that he gets to do that, bro. You got to check it out. Go over there and hang out with the chat and listen to some music. Now I heard you yesterday. You didn't hear that song before, but I let it grab it. It came off his album number 5. And that's I only like 3 songs of his. And there was a guy in Chicago who was he had a big business in Chicago, and he sold his company for a large amount of money. And my cousin Joey McMillan, who just passed away, he did private security. That was he had a company that he did private security for corporate people. Okay. And that was one of his corporate clients. And from time to time, I would do some jobs with my cousin. You know, if he needed 1 or 2 extra guys to go with him, you know, we just go and you wear a suit and you just, you know, it's all about some of the clients. They take this stuff really far. This guy was crazy. He liked people to see him with a bunch of bodyguards, like he was somebody. And he would go up to the bodyguard. What kind of gun you carry, man? Can I check it out? He was like a cool dude. So he sold this company for like $1 million or something in Chicago. And he called my cousin up and said, I need security tonight because I feel someone's going to try to rob me and take the money and hold me or take me hostage and want the money for ransom. He was all paranoid. He was all coked out, man. This dude, man. So my cousin goes, you want to go with the nut job tonight with me? I go, yeah, I'll go because I did a job with him before and the guy made me laugh. So he's got a Range Rover and he remembered me. He goes, you do the driving. He goes, you're perfect at driving. And then he's got this Lenny Kravitz CD and he pops it in, and that's all he listened to for 4 hours. Everywhere we took him was that one track. He kept repeating it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's how I got to know the song, and I really like this. I dig the song a lot, and that's really, I didn't know much about Lenny Kravitz. I'm not into rock and roll, but I like that song. It just grew on me after hearing it 1,000 times throughout the night.
Yeah.
You know, but this guy was wild, man. I mean, I remember we drove, and he goes, I got to go to my penthouse at the high rise on Lakeshore Drive. He lived at the top floor. He had the whole top floor. He goes, I got to take a shower and change clothes. He goes, he threw on music, and it's me, my cousin, and he brought another off-duty Melrose Park cop that was part of that, because this guy just wanted people around him. So when he went out to meet people, he was like really important. He had bodyguards, you know what I'm saying? And it was all for show and go. And the guy was just always tooting on the coke, and he got paranoid about 8 hours into this, because we stayed with him all night. I wind up, I think we came out 2 days. He was on a binge because he had to do, it was a Friday, he closed on everything. So Friday night, Saturday night, and then the dude like slept all day Sunday, and then we didn't have to work for him no more. Monday we drove him to his last place to do something with the bank, and then he shook our hands again. He tipped all the, but this guy was wild, dude. You should have seen the stuff he was doing in public when he was like going to all these clubs. Hey, somebody, watch that guy over there, because I think that guy threatened my life once. I think that guy over there in the corner, and he's just, the more coke he did, the more he was like, hey man, that guy's looking at me, man. I think he's trying to do a hit on me, you know? And I'm like, this was wild. I never seen someone that paranoid on drugs. I was busted on this guy, man. And all I kept hearing was Lenny Kravitz sing that song, man. And I just rolled on it. And it was an interesting weekend. I told my cousin, you're a sick unit. The clients you got are all sick. They're nuts. He goes, yeah, but they pay. What's the difference? Who cares if they're nuts? They pay, you know? So, but he died. My cousin died, man. He comes down here to retire. He bought a condo in Newport Richie. Didn't get to enjoy it for a year. He died. His wife died 2 years before him. He was only 66 years old. You know, it's a shame, you know, when you go that young. That's why I get paranoid. I get delusional when I'm getting up in age. I'm like, I'm going to go. My grandfather died in early 60s. I'm going to be going soon. I ain't got much time left. My wife goes, stop saying that, you know. So, Commissioner, you know that we all took a vote and we dig the commissioner name. We think it fits your personality perfect. What do you think, Bobby? You think you've heard all his names? You heard all his names? I mean, yep. I don't know how many he had. He's been called. First one was Spider Elamar. That was his very first name. Then he became Venom Spider. No, then he became Mr. Big Shot, where he was a big pimp, and Kip Smith AI'd some stuff and put him in a pimp outfit with a white fur coat and a white pimp hat, and he was Mr. Big Shot. And then for Mr. Big Shot, I forgot what he became. Final Boss or something. He was the final boss. Yeah. And he's had some great names. But he just felt the need, like, I got to find a new name. But this one he had a home run with. And Kahuna locked it down. He said, that's it. He gets no more name changes. That's it. This is the one that sticks with him. People are getting confused. They're always asking for Spider. And I'm like, he goes, oh, Spider ain't no more. Who's Spider? He don't go, Spider don't hear no more. And they're like, wow, you know, really? So I like it. I think he stands tall with the commissioner. You know what I'm saying? You know, I could vision him on his scooter in a suit with a police badge here, going to an investigation with his little scooter doing 60 miles an hour. And he pulls up, you know, like a series, you know. Here comes Commissioner. Here comes the commish. And he's driving to solve the case. And Why ain't he in a police? No, that's his police car right there, man. That thing does 70 miles an hour. He's all decked out in the nines with a suit. You know, I'm telling you, kid, you gotta think crazy sometimes.
You can fight
You know?
crime. You can fight crime.
That's right.
Come here.
Did you ever see, Bobby, when you were younger? Did you ever watch the original Superman, the black and white that came out in the late 60s, 70s with George Reeves, the guy that committed suicide in Hollywood?
Actually,
watch those?
I wasn't aware of that until about 20 years ago.
Right. They play the reruns all the time. Still today. It's called The Adventures of Superman. And he hated that part. He played a lot of great acting roles in his life. And his agent got him this superhero. Well, in Hollywood in those times, being a superhero, you got tagged to be, you got locked into that bit. Like Batman,
Yeah.
It destroyed careers. And he hated it. And he was an alcoholic. And he did everything he could to get out of his contract with Universal, and they wouldn't. But finally, they canceled the show, and they did a movie about him, his life story. And in the movie, he's barbecuing, and he lifts the top of. He's got the Superman suit in the grill, and he's frying that up because he hated it. Yeah. You know, because he couldn't swear, he couldn't be himself because it was all a big show for kids. So the fan base was little kids that would run around to go when they see him. He'd do appearances. It was all kids that showed up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking little tykes. And it was a great show, but he really behind the scenes hated it. He was sleeping with a big movie owner that owned a big production, one of the biggest production companies. The wife of that guy was sleeping with George Reeves. She bought his house for him. And the husband knew that she had an appetite, but he did anything for his wife because he loved her. So he didn't care. Long as she didn't make an embarrassment if anything come out in the paper. But he didn't like George Reeves. And the rumor is they classified his death as a suicide, but someone believes the movie executive who didn't like him, and he made his wife cry. Yet he ordered a hit to kill him, and it made it look like a suicide. That was the movie. What the movie was based on, and to this day, it's still ruled as a suicide. But a lot of people suspect it was murder, and they never can prove it. That's how this movie executive he makes big movies, so he's going to know how to get around murder. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And
You never know.
Perfect crime.
Especially back in those days, you know.
Yeah, 50s and 60s. Yeah, you better believe it. There were no telephones or cell phones or a camera on any corner where people get 5 minutes of fame. You got away with stuff, man. If you didn't put it in nobody's face and you did it right, now forget it. To be a criminal today, you will be the dumbest human being in the world because you got a camera on every corner. Walmart freaking cameras, they can radiate out 2 miles each direction and still capture someone perfectly. That's how strong their cameras are. Everybody's got a cell phone trying to be getting 5 minutes of fame. They want to see something and they want to turn it in. So you can't be a criminal today. You got to be a church boy today. You got to go. And I tell people, a lot of guys, well, how do I find a good woman? Well, you don't find them in the Dabbleverse. You don't find them in the bars. You don't find them in the street walkers. You don't find them the drug addict. You go to church and you find a good woman.
Yeah.
You go to church. You want to have a good time, and you want to laugh and you want to have fun and just date somebody. Then you go to those other places. And I'm not saying those other places that the women are bad. If you're looking to be serious, you're not gonna get a serious thing out of a bar fight. You know what I'm saying? Or someone who her day job is a hooker. You're gonna have fun if you just go and date. But if you're looking for serious, don't. Or these dating sites. How did you meet? Oh, we met on matchmaker.com. You know that 90% of the women that fill out this application are hookers, and the men are usually pedophiles. So I mean, it's true. So perfect match to heaven. You got the high fluting hooker and a pedo. You know.
Yeah. It happens. I don't know. But yeah. Another good place to meet women is the library, I think.
Yes. Excellent choice.
Yeah.
You get the more plain Jane sophisticated type, that the real brain, that's where you get somebody that got a brain, Yeah, I agree with that. If you want, and I'm not saying, or if it's somebody that you knew you went to school with from your childhood and you always liked her and she always liked you, and you know her family, and you know her heart, that's different, But I used to have so many friends. They're like, I go, why do you go after all those pigs? Do you know how much dick she sucked today on the street? And you're intrigued by that? My buddy used to chase all them. I go, you're nuts, dude. You're a sick man. Plus, who knows what you're gonna catch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he used to
That's scary.
It's scary. But that's all he
Scary
liked.
stuff, yeah.
He liked all the pigs on the street. And I'm like, you gotta come out, man. You're more classier than that, dude. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when you go to those lengths, even if you're a male, if you're doing that kind of crazy, shady stuff, and you're in like a lot of crack cocaine turned a lot of guys to go out and blow people. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
Back in the crack days.
yeah.
A lot of
heard
guys
all
got on
about
their
that, yeah.
knees back in those days. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of big time dealers, they monopolized on that, and they turned them guys out. They threw big massive parties for their big clients who wanted young blood, not women, and they would go, "You owe me 20 grand, 15 grand. You go to this party, and you be a good guy for me, and you amuse and entertain these guys. I'll take half that debt off. You won't have to worry about it." And that's what they would do. They would trap them turn them into male prostitutes. Big.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. Oh, wait, got Jake Fire. Oh, and somebody, wait, I'm behind here. I got to love. Okay, wait a minute. Jake Fire, thank you for gifting one cattle on TV. Bobby, after this next one, I think if you could ring the bell for me, we could do it one for Jake, but we'll do it as soon as I read this next one. Kahuna Nui, where's my Kahuna, my little butterball? I miss you, my little butterball. It just ain't the same without you. It's not the same without him. I miss him so much. Oh my God. Kahuna Nui gifted 5 Catalana TV memberships. Jake Fire with one. Jake Fire with another one. I think Miss Kitty with one. So far tonight we got 1, 2, 3, 8 more members. Did you hear, Mr. Commissioner? We are now at 430 paid memberships, gifted memberships, 430 strong. 28 days in, we're only 70 away from making 500 tonight.
That's good. I heard you had a lot of memberships last night.
We had exactly 100 memberships, and I was like, my hair rose up with happiness. My heart started fluttering. I got this great warm feeling throughout my body. I grinned from ear to ear all day, and I was like, my wife goes, "Yeah, you're pretty good." I go, I just am blown away. I'm just blown away the kindness of so many people. I was raving when you were on the show and you're gifted 5, Bobby. I'm like, got another 5. I'm like, how great is Bobby Nix? He comes and helps us out on our show, and he's spending money. I'm like, you guys are just class acts. And the smartest thing I did is I'm glad that from day one that we had a good rapport, you and I, and you always said nice things about me, and we just let it naturally mature as we got to know each other better and start talking more and more, and it happened organically, and that was great. Same with Jib, same way. Yeah. Jib was one like you. He was around when a lot of people were talking about me, and he knew I was doing great, but he never judged me. He got to know me, and he says all the time, he's the total opposite. Once you get to know him, he's a kind. Even the people say when I went to Hackamania or I went to Carl's, they said, "Man, I'm personable and I'm always loud. I got a projection of my loudness has always been like that since a little boy. I got very strong, but I'm not this angry guy, and I'm trying to look at somebody the wrong way and look out. What do you look at? I'm like so humble to shake their hand and sit down with them, and it's just cool. And they're like, "Man, you are really so different, man." And even who was it that said it? I'm trying to think. He said, "Oh, it was Dr. Steve when he first came up to me." Dr. Steve said, "The Catalano's got a persona. There's podcasts. Joey's got he's got a tough guy routine. He's from Chicago, and you see how he carries himself. You see that in him. But when it comes to how he speaks to people and how he interacts, he's totally different than his show." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And Dr. Steve goes, "I knew you were a righteous guy," and I love Dr. Steve, man. He's I've got the pleasure of hanging out with him a couple times, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a Dabble.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
He's cool, dude. He's a cool dude, and but then it's like Doom said, the turn's coming. And I've been slowly making the turn, but I decided. I sat down, and a lot of people say, you got to think about it. If you wind up putting out good content and you're a good show, but you're an asshole, you got to remember one thing. I don't care how good you are here. If you don't start interacting right with the chat people and the people because YouTube set it up the way they set up with the super chats, they put it in the hands of the fans to support the channels.
Right.
And that's a fact. That's what they did. You used to put your videos up and you get pennies on a dollar, for monetization. And it was harder to get monetized before the super chat. You had to have a lot of subscribers, a lot of hours. It wasn't easy. And if you had like less than 1,000 views, you got 3-4 cents a pennies on a dollar for your videos.
Yeah.
And they adapt this program, and it's true. They put it in the hands of the people that are going to be watching these shows, that are going to be trying to get involved in the community. And I got to tell you, I have had a lot of people that have left the Dabbleverse that are in silent, and you would know them, Bobby. I'm not going to put their business out, that keep in touch with me through text, and like, don't tell people that you're talking to me, that I'm around. But they're like, we always knew that if someone could get you to calm down, and we could get 1 or 2 people that could be with you to just keep you leveled off. Like with DG, when I was doing all those shows, DG kept me leveled off from, I ranted, but I didn't go full circle where I could hurt myself or get in major trouble with a lot of people. And that's what Shuli did. Shuli wanted DG to watch over me. That's how it all started. Because finally, me and Shuli had been talking for about 3 months. And then he brought me on a show and he goes, listen, I'm hearing good things. You're finally quiet a little bit and you're listening. I go, yeah, I'm ready to learn. And he said, I like this. He said it on the show. I like to hear Joey CC is ready to learn and listen to the pros. I'm ready, And then Hackwright took me under his wing, and that was a great experience. But I always had that in me. I was always a decent person and always respectful. I had a lot of anger issues, but not with just everyday people. My anger stemmed from deepness that in my life of things that happened. But I try not to bounce that into anybody that was good. I always was very respectful to anybody that was a decent human being, that was a hardworking person, that was just an average person that just did everything right in life. They never were late on paying a bill. They didn't have a parking ticket. They didn't have just normal people that were hardworking people that built a home with their family, that were decent American people. I would protect people like that and love people like that. But anybody, and we had a lot of characters in my neighborhood, but anybody that would go out and hurt a woman or a child in our neighborhood, the neighbor got blocked off and the police couldn't even get in there, and they were dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't like. There's no reason to hurt an innocent child, and no reason to go out and take something from a woman because she won't give it to you. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad.
Right.
That you're a mental case. So that used to anger me a lot, and I despised that. But other than that, I know how to act. I know how to put my underwear on correctly. I know what fork to use when I'm eating salad and stuff like that. I know there's a salad fork and there's a 3 little prong fork that's for like shrimp cocktail. I know all that. I know all the mannerisms of the high polloi, and I have class, but I always flew off the deep end. I had that ability that on a dime I could just go, and I wasn't allowed in my mother's house after 10 o'clock at night, at any given time. If I wanted, I had to visit my mother before 9 o'clock every night.
Really?
Because I was so loud, her neighbors would complain that they would hear me a block away inside the house talking at a normal talk level.
No way.
My mom, she forbidden me to go. I was, when my nickname when I was a kid, I was called Spoons, and then I was called Ears and Spoons. I always had a spoon in my mouth. I was always eating when I was a kid. Always shoving something.
Okay.
Yeah. So my cousins named me Spoons. I had a lot of weird nicknames though, but when I got older, my buddies named I had Joey Diamonds when I was in baseball. Robert Ellis, the pitcher, named me that. Joey Styles is my eccentric suits I used to wear. Joey Boom Boom, Joey Nite. I had all. I got called Joey Diamonds because at one point in my life I used to be a gold fanatic. Like most Italian men got a diamond pinky gold ring on their pinky. I had the gold necklace with the horn and the Italian horn and the cross, of course, the crucifix. And I had, when I went away and when we were robbed blind, I don't, and I'm get out now at my age, and I don't work no more. I had to retire, forced to retire, so I don't have the means to put back. Which it's all material stuff, but I do miss a few things that I had that I enjoyed that I kept sacred to me. But it's not the end of the world. It's 2 years now. I've been out. It was 2 years, June 23rd, that I was out of prison, and this is what that's almost a month away, and that's a good thing. I still have it's still something. The fact that they took my wife away from me for 30 months, that our child passed away. I still blame, even though we were guilty, I still have resentment towards the government for doing the severities of what they did to us, and blame them for all the outcome. And I was talking to some guys that have got a lot of time in prison, and they said, "Man, let me sit down here, young man. Let me talk to you." I'm talking guys that had like years, like 20, 30 years, and have been lifers, And they're like, "Let me tell you how it is, my man. It ain't about them getting you and convicting you and locking you up. The government is about one thing: breaking you away from your family because because in their eyes you did a horrendous crime to the government. So they're gonna make you miserable. And if you go in there and you got a mouth, they put you on flight duty. You know what flight duty is when you're a prisoner?
No.
They put you on Con Air, on the worst airplanes they have.
Oh,
in the middle of the night, they fly you to different prisons. Every other day, they put you in the worst prisons, let you stay there for 1 or 2 days. Back on plane detail, they come and get you in shackles, and your dog out of shackles, take you back to Con Air of a plane that could wipe out any time and fly you across the country. They'll take you to Puerto Rico, to the federal place there. Then they'll take you, after 2 days, they'll drive you out of it. They'll fly you to California. They'll put you so far away from nobody could visit you if you give them attitude. And it's about them making you miserable without your family. That's what their goal is. It's not about giving you but the prison sentence is, you don't count prison time. You don't put a calendar. You don't look at days. If you do that, you're gonna feel like you're in there a long time. You can't think. The best way to do it. It's tough when you got a family and you love somebody, and you're always thinking about them, or you're thinking about what they're doing or what's going on. It drives you insane. You make yourself up. The best way to go in there is you detach yourself from everybody. You make your mind strong, and you put yourself in the prison, and you say, they got my body, but they don't got my mind. And that's how you do time. You don't count days. You got to get strong in the mind, and you cannot think of anybody you love. You have to detach yourself. That's the best way to do prison time. Otherwise, it gets very mentally stressed for you, especially if your partner is not in prison, and you're wondering, you start thinking, what's she doing? Or she's doing, what's he doing? I'm in prison. Who's he with? You know what I'm saying? It gets very bad for your thinking process. She did more time than me, so I was just concerned that she could handle herself. Is they treating her right? Is she okay? Especially after she got news about her daughter. I couldn't write her. They wouldn't let me write her or talk to her ever. Even the day they told us, I go, can you call the chaplain there? I asked the chaplain, can you call the prison there and let me talk to her just for 2 minutes? I can't do that. That's against the rules. Can we get permission from the warden? Warden flat out told me no. Didn't care. And I'm like, I'm blown away. They have no empathy. They told her that she had to fill out a form to see if she'd go to the funeral. They denied her 2 days before the funeral, that they weren't going to let her go. That's fucking terrible. The mother, I can understand me. I was just a stepfather. And that's how brutal they are. That's how brutal the government is. When they want you and they hate you, they'll make your life a living hell. And that's a valuable lesson for me. I will never, ever lie to a federal agent or anybody in the government ever again. I told one white lie and it made my whole life. I'm guilty of it. I did it. And I also tried to beat up the federal officer, so that didn't help either. But, I did go ballistic on him, and that was not good for what I did. So I physically was ready to throw down with him. And if he would have just stepped to me, it would have been all over. I would have put to prison for a long time, because I might have put him in a bad way. And he just rubbed me in the wrong way, and I exploded. She couldn't control me. She's begging me to stop and just please don't do this to us. And I finally calmed down, and when when I turned myself in, I met with the federal agents because I met them. That's who I met in front of the courthouse. And we were walking to the back to go take us to the back. And he took her on one side and he's walking. I go, I just want to apologize for that day you guys came out to the house and you were, presenting to us that, what's going to happen to us. And you were talking to her. He goes, listen, man, you're not a bad guy. He just says, you really, I don't know your whole history. You worked your whole life. You got a few minor crimes. He said, but, in a perfect world, if a man should stick up for his wife no matter what. You did the honorable thing, he said. So there's no fault there. He goes, I want to forget about that night because I don't want to look at you as the guy that went ballistic on my partner. You did a lot of disrespected. He said, I'm going to tell you something. We would have never indicted you for the lie if you didn't do what you did to my partner. He goes, so just remember that. Once you broke that barrier with us, we did this because you were being a prick to us, and we're going to be a prick back to you. That's what he said to me, walking me into the door. And he didn't handcuff me. He goes, go through there, and the guy's going to fingerprint you. I'll have you get out of here in 10 minutes. You go see the judge, you do it on your way home, and then you'll get a court, and you'll start your court procedure. I go, you're not going to hold me? He goes, we're going to let you get a bond. He goes, like I said, generally, I like you. I think you're a good guy. I think your wife's a good lady. But you would have never even be going through this if you didn't try to beat my partner up. Bad mistake, he said, because the lie was so minimal, we were going to overlook it. But they couldn't charge me with that because I didn't physically touch his partner. I made a lot. I was almost this close, and so he goes, that's why when I talked to this, when I told the federal prosecutor and told him what you did, he says, and I was going to let him walk and not charge him, and that's what happened. I did it to myself.
Yeah.
My mouth got me in trouble. My threats to the officer. If he would have reacted, I would have probably got 20 years of prison. Because the minute you touch a federal, I don't care if he beats you up or you beat him up. The minute you strike a federal officer, it's mandatory 20 years. You're done.
Yeah, it's
I
not good.
would have lost everything. I would never see my wife again. I'd be gone 20 years, and I would rot and die in there. And that would be my end of my life. Would have been the day I stepped into prison at my age. It would have been over for me. So I just that taught me a lot. That made me mature a lot in that department. But man, oh man, it's not the same. I don't feel the same. I feel like all the things that meant anything to us is gone. We lost the time. I lost the time with her. And you can't never take that back, but I try. I've never been this type of person that I always could get myself out of a funk. I always could pick myself up and make myself be positive again from being negative. But this, for 2 years now, I just can't find my zone of what my normal zone was prior to going away. And I don't know if it's my age, if I lost my drive, if I lost my will to be strong that way. I just can't find it, and it drives me insane, man. And it bothers me. And my wife's always like, "You're too hard on yourself. I love you. Don't worry." And I go, "Yeah, I love you too, but I've never felt this, man. I've always was a guy that, if I messed up, I corrected it. If I wanted to go help people, I don't even want to leave the house anymore, Bobby. I don't. I'm just locked in my house because I'm always depressed. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Life can get with that. Life can get that way, man. But
man,
you're here. You're doing good. You're doing good, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're on a good path now.
Yeah.
This thing is a good thing you got going on.
Yeah. And I think surrounding myself with good guys who have all other different experiences and we interact so well and we get to know each other. It helps me. I say it every day. If that woman wasn't with me and my wife and being with me and doing everything together, I don't know what the course I would have took. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in taking your own life. I don't believe in that. I think it's a cowardly way out. But I could see where someone could fall into a deep, deep depression and lose everything and say, what am I here for? And end it. I could see that twist happening. And I'm like, no, I'm too strong. And I would never do that. That's the cowardly way out to do something like that. And it would be, that's just the cowards do that. And you got to fight. I just got to keep fighting, but in a good way, like you said, just you're in a good place now. And I got to fight for a cause now and that's my goal is to live a dream now and to meet good people and interact with these people and like Reverend Billy was a little upset yesterday, and I felt compelled to just have a heart to heart with him and kind of guide him, and he wrote me the nicest comment yesterday after that, and touched me in a way that I was so glad that I don't know everything, but I understood what he was going through, so I tried to relate to that, and I just tried to say the right words to him and calm him down, and he thanked me. He said that it was he was really happy that I talked with him and it made him feel better. That to me was priceless. That I was able to, for a moment, to lift him out of his little problem and make him feel a lot better. And to me, that was deep. You know what I'm saying? That was deep. And then you go. I pop up in a chat room today. Whose chat room? Well, I was in a lunatic line for a while. I went over to I'm thinking who else? Carl's chat room, and a lot of people. I said hello, and a lot of people. Hey, Joey, see how you doing? But then there was 2 or 3 people in there that I recognized their name. I go, boy, here it comes. I already knew it, and they were just, and I proud of myself because I didn't say nothing back. I ignored them,
Yeah,
and they stopped.
that's all you gotta do. Yeah,
I just ignored them. You know.
yeah. You feed the trolls,
Yeah.
then they're gonna go at you. But
Yeah, man.
when you don't give them anything,
You're right.
they go away. They go away.
You're right. Yeah, like yesterday, I almost took the bait with Rob Saul, and I caught myself. He's just not a nice guy, and
Yeah.
when
Nah,
he's telling,
cool.
yeah, he's a piece of shit. I mean, he's tacking Bob Levy and Gina Levy. Bob
Yeah.
Levy is the nicest guy in the world, man. You know, he don't bother. He helps everybody, man. You know, and this guy's on there trashing him and Gina, and the way he talks about women, just like John. And I'm like, man, oh man, what's wrong with these men, man? You hate women that bad? Well, and my pet peeve is any man that don't respect his mother will never respect any woman.
No.
If he disrespects his own mother, you as a woman, you don't marry him because he will never respect you. I promise you that. So
That's
that's a
right,
good
man.
rule of thumb. You know, Bobby, your mom's still alive?
No, she passed away in 2007.
Oh, your mom's been gone a long time then. Okay, sorry to hear. My condolences. So you were close with your mom?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
really close with my mom. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a tough one when she
Yeah,
passed
man.
away.
Yeah, I understand that, man. Unfortunately, you know, like I said yesterday, you know, I loved my father because he gave me life, but I couldn't respect him for all the bad he did to his kids. And I was just happy when I made it to the hospital, and he was already expired, and I did see a happipiness grin on his face, and I did kiss him on the cheek, you know, and I said, you know, I see you got peace, Pop, and for that I'm grateful for that, you know,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, you know, they say even the scariest men in the world, like big mob bosses that killed a lot of people, ordered a lot of deaths, when they start getting up in age and they're ready to face death, they get a priest and they start praying, ask forgiveness right away because they're scared. They don't know when they go if they're going to go up or down. So they they change for that big tough guy, and they bawl like a baby, hoping that God's going to forgive them. And you see it a lot, and how a strong man, turns to a little baby begging for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And that's by itself has got to be painful. You know what I'm saying? So that's why my wife has a motto: you be kind to everybody. You help as many people as can, even if people spit on you and tell you go away. Don't strange. Don't take that personally. You know, just try to help people. And I get mad at her. I go, you help too many people. I feel like they use it. She goes, no, I want to help people. She'll do a lot of favors for people, and I'm like, I don't mind that, but I just feel some of them come over and they take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, no, if they were, I would tell you. I would tell you, you know. So I trust her. I learned to trust her judgment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. It's not a one-way street in a relationship. It's a two-way street. You got to be equal. You got to walk together, not like in the old days when the whites walked behind the men. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's got to be an equal opportunity here, and that's what I like. So I'm gonna Spider. Commissioner. You got anything? You got anything you want to share? I hear that you had a gay monkey on your back not too long ago. and you were in the middle of beating something up on your body, but the gay monkey jumped on, and the gay monkey said, "What are you gonna do? Leave me on the back, or you're gonna beat me off?" So, what did you do to that gay monkey? Did you leave him on his back, or did you beat him off?
I don't know what you talking about. Whatever, that is not true.
Well, I'm only going by what Scott Fitzpatrick says. He asks
Yeah.
everybody, if you had a gay monkey on your back, would you leave it there or beat it off? Now, there's only two answers, right, Bobby?
Yeah, only two. Only two.
There's only two answers. So, I gave the right answer. I would beat it off. I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, I have to. I would have to do that. It would be my civil duty to beat that monkey off. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you spank your own monkey up for most of your life. So what? I mean, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just heard that he paid you a visit, and I was curious what you did with the gay monkey. You know?
Ain't no monkey pay me no visit.
No? Okay. Well, I got misinformed of information then, I guess. My sources, damn you, Jake, you gave me the wrong info. Just kidding, Jake. Just kidding. I'm just messing with you. I got nothing but love for you, kid. People say don't try to be funny, just be yourself, and sometimes you say funny things. That's all. I said something the other day. I don't know if it was I around. I don't remember if it was on a stream or if I was talking to someone in the house, and it came out all wrong. And I go, oh my God, I botched that up. And my wife says, yeah, don't talk like that no more. Don't even try to be funny no more. She goes, because it sounded pretty bad, And I'm like, yeah, I know, I caught it, But so, are you a fan of Pee Wee Herman? Growing up, were you a fan of Pee Wee Herman?
That was one of my favorite shows.
What, the Pee Wee Herman show? You like?
Yeah.
Now, were you a fan of Pee Wee Herman? His name was George something. His real name was George Herman or something. I think he was. No, Pee Wee Herman was a spade. I forgot what he was.
Paul Rubens, I think.
Paul Rubin. That's it. Paul Rubin was his real name. That's right. Paul Rubin. Thank you, Bob. His real name was Paul Rubin. Now he was a character way he had the makeup on and his short hair, but in real life he was like a slob kind of guy with long hair, and he had a fetish. You're this guy that you worshipped and was one of your favorite movies was whacking off in the Sarasota adult movie theater and got arrested for his wang being out. You understand? The man that would cater to children, a guy that you idolize. So I'm really disappointed to hear that was your favorite guy because he was a whacker in his real life, and he go to porn.
I never said that was my favorite guy. I just said the movie that was all right. That was it.
You like Paul Rubin now?
No.
You think he's cool?
No.
Do you remember when he whacked his doodle?
Yeah, I
don't remember that.
He got arrested for it in Sarasota Theater. It was an adult theater there in Sarasota, Florida. That's where he lived. Yeah. He's a whacker, and the guy's doing kid shows. What do you think the parents of the kids, when they saw Paul Rubin, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, busted for whacking his wanker, and he's doing all these kid shows? That kind of would be suspect. He became a suspect. Yeah, I'm not kidding you now. I would never lie to you, kid. I'm telling you. Paul Rubin. I mean, look at him. He looked like a good, wholesome young man. Pee Wee Herman. Let me show you a side-by-side picture of Pee Wee Herman. Was a good, wholesome, lovable guy that every kid loved him. He was, he talked really funny, but he made children laugh. He made a lot of people feel good. And then when he wasn't acting or doing his Pee Wee, and I mean, he looked like a wholesome little kid. I mean, let me see if I can do this right. Let me see how I do this. I got to learn all this stuff. Let me see this picture of him. Or is it, it's not it. All right, so hang on now. Let me see if I can really show you him as Pee Wee Herman. Okay, let me just pull this up. So let me go back to the StreamYard here, and I'm going to present this. And now, I mean, he looks like a regular Mr. Rogers type guy because Mr. Rogers was the real deal. He really did a great show. There was people accused him of it, but he turned out to be a squeaky clean guy. He was married to the same woman. He wasn't a guy that preyed on children. He really cared for being Mr. Rogers and did a great job doing it. You know, where people get leery when they see a grown man acting like a kid on kiddie shows. It draws attention. But he checked out right. Now, Pee Wee Herman, I don't think he checked out right after he got caught in this theater. You know what I'm saying? And it was a pretty big deal. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I don't want now here. He looks like a normal, funny guy that would be kind to children. He does a kid show. That's his persona that he had, Pee Wee Herman. He had that funny voice. He made you laugh. And then people, whenever they saw him, I think 90% of the time he was always in character because he was always doing meet and greets as Pee Wee Herman. So he was dressed as Pee Wee Herman most of the time during his life.
Yeah.
And people didn't even know it was him because when I show you the picture of Paul Rubin, it doesn't even look like him. And this is the normal guy now that's not in an acting situation. He's just hanging at home. He's drinking like a normal person. He's doing drugs. He's wanking it over in the sex shops in Sarasota. And he is a guy that's like Mr. Rogers. He's got to set an image, not get caught like this. You know? So now a lot of things came out. Who is really Paul Rubin? I think he lost contracts. I think he lost endorsements. I mean, he destroyed himself with this, but he had a fetish. He had to whack his wanker in public at an adult, one of those adult movie screen things, you know?
Yeah.
You know, they had them all the little peep shows. You go and you put the quarter in and you watch the video on a cum-filled wall that everybody jerks off to, and you got the video playing, and you guys, all these old sick weirdos are in there, one after another, and nobody's there to clean it up, and it's just by 2 o'clock in the morning, you got a cum pit of 20,000 different people, you know? It's nasty, you know, and or they got where you put the quarter in, and there's a lady on the other side, but you get right where you're ready, and then the thing closes, and then you're out of quarters. Now you got to get dressed again, and those guys are weirdos. I've seen it all. I've been on the street in every situation. Okay, trust me, we've seen it all. A lot of weirdos, you know, and I was shocked because I was a big Pee Wee Herman. I liked his character, and my young kids, I thought he would be a good image for them. What do you think I found out when I'm living in Clearwater, right over the bridge of Sarasota, and this moron, who is every kid in America loves, with his little red bicycle, he's getting caught wanking in the Sarasota adult industry. And now I got to find a picture of Paul Rubin. Let me find that now, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. So. I didn't see. I'm not trying to take away your dream, or discouraging you. You didn't do nothing wrong. You're a fan of his. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted you to be aware. Nothing's black and white, kid. There's a lot of gray areas. Only the newspaper's black and white. You understand? Not life in general. The newspaper's black and white. That's it. But there's gray areas in life. Now, where is he at? I can't find a picture of him. Why am I not finding him? I don't know. Paul Rubin, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. That's what I got to put. A.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman. Now, you know enough in this Dabbleverse, young Catalano commissioner. You're a guy that I know pays attention. Even when you used to be quiet, you always was alert, had that radar up. So I know that you know all the different characters in this great Dabbleverse of ours. So, and I know that Shuli and those guys are probably your favorite, which is cool, because Shuli's the best. They're just professionals and they got class and they respect people. So I got mad respect for those guys. But you also know that the stuttering dipshit. You got to know him a little bit, and I know you're not a big fan of his. So he's got that persona to make people hate him. He's got it. That's what he does. He uses and abuses people. So he strikes me as he gets older and he's looking sicker. And I every time I look at Jana, he looks like he's becoming a woman. He's getting really feminine looking. I see him developing into a woman. I almost want to say maybe he's going to turn like Bruce Jenner. Maybe he's going to go to the other side and get the operation. Because he looks like a woman. You know, the stuttering chicken. When I see him doing his podcast with his long hair and the way he moves, you know, the little feminist. You know how and I say he's turning into a female. Well, Rob Saul's a female.
Oh, he's
very
right
feminine.
yeah.
Now, I was told his backstory from someone that knows Rob Saul. He grew up with his father was a homosexual, Rob Saul.
Yep.
So he was raised by a man that was not taught normal stuff. And so, okay, you know, life's tough, but we all had something bad. That's not an excuse to go out and bounce on women. But Rob Saul has a lot of feminism. His voice, the way he glows in his face. He's almost like, I think he puts lipstick on. He probably wears women's panties, you know. But and how I know he's more feminine is because when he invited his relative to live with him when he was in a tough time, his relative really was grateful and paid Rob Saul back by stripping his wife naked, taking her to Rob's bed, doing it with her so good that she fell in love and kicked Rob Saul out. And he didn't even defend his honor. You understand that? So that's why I know he's feminine. But this guy here, I thought was a good for kids. He did a good show until that incident happened. And I don't know if we got time today to do that, but I'm going to show you this picture side by side. And you tell me, and this is actually, let me see where that picture, I think, yeah, is that it? Yeah, that's it. This guy, he still looks a little cleaner here. When he got busted, he was looking rough. He's a little cleaned up here on this one. So let me see if I can get back in here. Okay, here it is. So now, here you go. That's Pee Wee Herman, and that's Paul Rubin.
Wow.
Now, you could, if you search, you see the eyes. His eyebrows are a little different here. He's cleaner cut here. But the day he was wanking it on a Saturday, you know, with a bunch of old dirty men, he was looking rough, and he was drunk, high. He wasn't clean looking, and nobody knew it was him at first until the name came out when he was arrested. And my whole life changed how I felt about this guy. You know, because I can't look at him like this no more and even think he's funny if he's doing that over there with old men. You know, it's kind of like Rob Saul don't get to talk bad to nobody because he's lost his manhood. He's not even a man. He should just run away and hide. And he wants to come after me? Oh my God, that's just bad choices. He told me that I'm a felon and I'm a druggie. And then somebody that liked me posted a couple hours later something about Saul and said, "Isn't that Rob Saul is a convicted felon?" And all of a sudden his asshole puckered up and he left the Twitter and he ain't seen him since. He's back in hiding. He's bouncing on people.
Really?
Yeah, that's what someone said. They posted something that he was proven he was a convicted felon. So that's what I'm talking about. Guys like him who bounce on people and prove. I mean, he said, my wife had nothing to do with the AB conversation yesterday on Twitter, and he trashed Christina so bad. Where's your whore, prostitute, dick sucking, no teeth, meth head wife?
Yeah.
And she wasn't even part of this. And I'm like, you really? I go, first of all, my wife's got great teeth. My wife's pretty hot. And, you know, yeah, we were addicts, but we don't, my wife's pretty straight laced about it. I mean, my wife never drank. She don't even, you know, she don't like taking aspirin. She's, you know, she's pretty organized. She likes to keep a clean house. She likes nice things. But he just like ripped into her. And I'm like, dude, she ain't even part of this. You ain't even got the balls to talk to me? I go, I get it. Your manhood was stripped really bad. He's worse than John when it comes to putting down women. But John, we know, hate women. And John's hate goes deep because John treated women so bad, and he wind up losing everything. You know, you think, I mean, his wife probably did a bad dash, was happy to get away from him. You know what I'm saying? But I look at him now, and he's developing into a woman. So maybe and I think he does know Bruce Jenner. I think Bruce Jenner done Howard Stern a couple of times interview, and I think John probably hung out with him, and I think he's going to make the change. I'm going to see. You're going to see Stuttering John. LBGQT, whatever they call the organ, he's going to be the president of that organization someday.
Yeah, because I agree. He is starting to look like an old tranny, like an old
Does,
granny
doesn't
tranny.
he? Does
Old granny tranny.
And that's what he's and because you know when he's got the long hair and the way he moves his hands and he touches himself, you know, he does it so feminine. But hanging with Rob Saul, who definitely was raised to be feminine, And he shows it because his voice and he glows. Rob's got a glow to his face like, I just got tapped so good. You know, it's like someone just railed him so good, and he's just in the seventh heaven, you know?
Yeah.
So I could understand that, being raised by a father that was homosexual and taught you and abused you. That I could understand why he turned out the way he did. But, you know, he likes it. I think he's glad it turned out like that. But he definitely don't like women. I mean, if you said something, one negative thing to him, he doesn't even know you or anybody that don't know him, he would just start talking about your mother and calling, or your girlfriend or your sister, because he's I think in the day of the Little Rascals, he would have been president of the he haters, what they just call it, lady girls weren't allowed in the clubhouse. It was the she hater club. Alfalfa and Spanky McFarlane, they had the she woman's hater club. You know, no women were allowed. But Darla got to go in there, I think. Alfalfa's love of his life, and the little girl that we had, you had a Porky, the little kid that used to pull the wagon, and you had Buckwheat, the little black kid, and then then you had the little girl that was part of the three, but she was more like a little tomboy. But she was allowed in the clubhouse because they didn't consider her a girl. She was like the little tomboy, you know. And Little Rascals is a great show, man. You know, they still play them. Three Stooges is my all-time favorite, though. You know, they did their own. Did you know they did their own? They didn't get stuntmen. They did all their own. Anything that was to do with most people today would have a stuntman. Mo cracked his ribs, got laid out, and got up and finished the scene with broken ribs, split head one day when when something went wrong. You know how he does the poking of the eyes, and you know, and the guys that trained him how to do that, and there's the saw bit with like the saw on someone's head. Well, apparently, they weren't always perfectionists at it, and a lot of times it went bad, where he actually poked really hard at Curly's eyes, or Mo did a scene where he really broke ribs and passed out and busted his head open. When he slapped, they said he was very aggressive, and he really laid it into the Larry and them. And there was a lot of complaints that Larry didn't like it, because Larry he slapped pretty good, Mo, you know, and to make it look right, he did. But these two guys that trained these guys, it wasn't these people that trained them, but guys like them. These guys were doing a show showing you how it looks so good, like they're really poking your eyes, but the secret of where you go just right above it and you really hit this, and how they make it look good. But I read a lot of articles where, because Mo he was the last one to die. He was going on talk shows in the 70s, and he would talk many a nights that how he did the stunts himself, and he cold passed out, got up, and went and finished the scene, and then passed out cold. He made the scene and he just collapsed, and that's a trooper, man. Now you see, he left again. Where did he go?
I don't know. He's gone.
Commissioner, I mean, you don't like us or what? I think I'm gonna read some of the chats, Bobby, and then I'm gonna. I had a good time. I'm really glad you came out with me, man, because
thanks for having me, Josie.
Oh, come on, man, anytime. I could do a show. I've done many shows where I like being by myself and I rant and I talk with the. But it's nice when you got someone that's cool that does this like me and knows how to interact. And Commissioner, he gets scared of me. He just clams up, and I told him, you can interrupt me anytime you want. Tell me to shut the hell up, take over the show. I don't care, because I'm going to go on and on, because I got 1 million miles of content that comes out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Quit being a peckerhead. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, Joey, I think I'm going to take off. But yeah, thanks for having me on. And
Bobby, always the best. Thank you. Want to do your plugs? Go ahead and do your plugs real quick.
You know what? The only one I want to do is check me out in the lounge tomorrow.
Got it.
Tomorrow in the afternoon. You can go to rumble.com/The Bobby Nick Show.
That's it. And I'll pump you up a little bit as we wrap it up here. And I always do. I always try to tell them to carry over to Jason's show or Lunatic. Whatever we do, we try to get the chats to go over it. And it's been working out good, how we've been all working together. So I'm really, Bobby, thank you for coming on. I look forward to seeing you again. I'll see you on one of the shows, and we'll interact. I try to talk to you every day, and thanks again, brother. Bobby Nix, everybody, one of the greatest guys to come to know. You can catch him on the lounge, like he said, but he's also on Jason Bartle's show, and he does the Rumble exclusive with his music show. Play you $1 for Rumble Rant. Play anything you want.
That's right. Anything.
Anything you want, he'll make it happen. So go check out Bobby Nix. Check out the Cut of the Jib. Jason Bartle. We all promote each other, and it's working out real well. And I think it's better to be allies than to be at each other's throats. It's working out real good.
That's right.
Thanks
That's
again,
right.
Bobby. I appreciate it, buddy.
Okay. Have a good one. See you later, Kamish.
Kamish, he's talking to you.
You
See
too,
you, bud.
Bobby. You too. See you later.
Okay, bye.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. The great Bobby Nix, everybody. Love that guy. All right, Commissioner. It's you and I. All right. I'm going to read some of the chats because I got a duty to these people here. You know, these are our fans.
That's right.
Do you know how loved you are in the Stableverse? Do you have any idea where they put you? They love them Spider. Now they're accepting, I think, the new name because I like it. But they all, like Gina said, you'll always be my Spider. You know.
Yes, she did. I seen that.
You saw that. You see, so you got a lot of people that you've never had the ability of anybody hating you. So that's a big plus because even the shows surely thinks the. I'm gonna unleash you in Dabblecon 2 with Cardiff Electric Potato as himself. He wears a potato mask. Rocco, El Horrible, in the flesh. Carl Heiberger, Shuli Egar, Ray DeVito probably there. Great Zenhauser, Mike Morse, the great Bob and Gina Levy. You're gonna be around. It's gonna be a great week, and they're all gonna be happy to meet you. I know the fans are already buzzing. Spider coming. You are probably going to be in seventh heaven. And I'm going to be taking streams and photos of you because you're going to be your weekend. I've already done all this in my life. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I like podcasts. I like telling my life story. I like interacting. But for you guys, the future, Mrs. C and you and the Kai Brocaccios and Mrs. Honeybees and the Kahuna Nui, who's a big asset to us now. It's like, how can I say it? I get this good feeling over me, like my children have blossomed to be successful, and for me, that's what makes me stay strong. And I tell you guys all the time, and I tell my knucklehead sons, when you're strong and doing right, I stay right because I feel them when they're in pain or there's something wrong because it's your child. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel things with you. And you're like a son to us. You've always been like a son to me, you know, and you've always been a great kid. And I've told the world about that. Remember when we went to the hockey game when we were here, when you were staying with me I took you to the hockey game with that guy, the ticket guy that I became friends with. He would give us all those great seats. And all he wanted was the spring training tickets for the Tigers. You know, he quit his NHL job that he was with. He's been with the Lightning for almost since day one, couple championships. He ran the whole ticket office, and this is not minor leagues; it's the real NHL. But he's such a Tiger fan. He became the ticket manager full time for the Tigers in Lakeland for the 8 minor league team. He gave up but he said it was worth it because he's with his Tigers, and I'm glad. And he used to come. I used to get him all. I used to get him great spring trade tickets. I take him around, and let him go, meet people. And they're not. I could call him an hour before the hockey game, and he'd say, "Come on, I got tickets for you." He put us in great seats. Remember, we had great times, man. And I was just grateful that that's the one thing I miss, the connections I had because of baseball and the other sports I liked or restaurants I liked. That one guy that was a chef, he died. Telford was what we called him, Telford. That was his nickname, but he was a great chef, and he used to like something that I was involved with, so I would trade off with him, and I could go to that fancy restaurant and he cooked me the best steaks, and I would get what he wanted, and he would give me what I want, fancy foods, and take my family out. So I used to like doing that trade off stuff, especially when I worked at trading tickets out, because then I use it to my advantage. And when you work behind the baseball, the front offices, they got tickets to amusement parks, to the zoos. They give you envelopes and stuff. It's all free. It's part of your perks. So, I used to take advantage of that, but I did a lot of trade outs. I traded out a lot of tickets to get things that I wanted for my family. And as long as the bosses were cool, I controlled the players' pass list. I'm the one that put it out. I'm the one that took it to the box office. So, I could do anything I want. And right, like it's just write people's names to go to the game. I was cool with the ticket office. You always stay cool with the people that help you the most, and you treat the. I used to get. They used to come to front in AAA. They'd come down. Like, could you get a couple dozen autographed team balls? Sure. The guy gives me tickets every day for 5, 10, 15 people that I come out to the ballpark. I treat to the ballpark. So I'm going to tell them no. And my boss is going, "Oh, you gave them 2 dozen of balls, Boombots. That's coming out of our pocket, the team's pocket, out of our budget." Do you know what this guy does for the players? Do you know how he goes out of his way to accommodate players for their wives, and how many suites they give the wives on game nights that they're for corporate people? I said, so you're going to tell me that we can't give that guy for 2 dozen autograph ball? I'm the one that's got to go around and get a ball signed. All you got to worry about is 2 dozen I took out of the till. I used to tell my boss straight out. I said, so you know what? All right, I tell you what. I'll call up to the Rangers in Arlington. I'll talk to the finance department, and I'll buy the 2 dozen balls. I'll tell them I'm taking 2 dozen baseballs from my equipment room, where I'm in charge of the equipment, and I want to pay for the balls. What the cost was? Send me the bill. And he goes, no, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, because you'd sound ridiculous. If I was doing it just to make money or something, then I would say I would be wrong. I'm giving it to a guy in the front office who gives it. He wanted 2 dozen team balls because he does benefits with a bunch of handicapped people that are baseball fans. And we're helping him, and he takes care of us whatever we need and doesn't even squawk. I got to take care of a guy like that. My boss was too straight-laced. He didn't understand how do you grease people's hands. I come from Chicago. We grease hands. We grease palms. One hand washes the other. You always had a bill in your hand. Someone was getting paid off. It's how it worked in Chicago. Chicago's notorious for the fix, for corruption. But if you knew how to do it without breaking laws, and you just were a personal guy and you one hand washes the other, it was good advantage for you to have things that you needed. And I didn't do it for me. I did it family or friends. People call me up. Hey, could you get me tickets to the Cubs game? Yeah, I'll get you. I can get you 4 tickets. When I was in the big leagues, but minor leagues, AAA. Hey, I'm coming out to Oklahoma. I got a business meeting. You still out there? Yeah. Hey, I'm bringing up some buddies. Can we get a suite? I go to my boss. Hey, can I get that suite tonight? I go. It couldn't be a Friday or Saturday because the suites they were usually filled. But a weekday, you got suites right in your ballpark, right?
Yeah.
Right, and they're nice. And when I remember we worked in Illinois for the independent team my last year, Christina, I got her a suite every night. She had a whole suite by herself. And I be the game would start. She'd be up in the suite. They would cook her anything she wants. I'd be down working me and you and Dominic, and she was watching baseball in a nice air conditioner with a lounge, with nice leather couches, a kitchen that cooked or anything. It was nice. And my boss says, no problem for you, anything. And I made her, she wasn't into baseball, but I made it nice for her so she could enjoy it. She couldn't hang in the locker room. The guys are walking around naked. You know what I'm saying? But she wanted to hang out in the locker room, and I told her no. I mean, I can't take that. You know how those guys were. When a woman walked in the locker room, they dropped her towels. How about the one guy in AAA? He was a big leaguer, and a female reporter came in, so he drops his towel, and he's standing there with his wank hanging out. And this guy was pretty large, and she's interviewing him, and he's just standing there like Superman, butt-ass naked. And you couldn't help watch her gaze down and kept looking down. She wanted it, because she's a human being. And I heard her reputation was she slept with a lot of ball players. But she was like a tough reporter, and she didn't care what locker room she went into. But she slept with a lot of players. I had players tell me, man, we double-teamed her last week, man. She's a really freak girl. And they did. That one lady that was an umpire in AAA, the lady umpire, who was under the radar all the time, and I took care of the umpire's room. I talked to her a lot. Her name was Pam, and she was slick. And she was banging 2 guys from every team. You see what I'm saying? So you wonder, did she become a female umpire in the men's game just to get jocked? I don't know. Or the Sauce sisters in AAA, mother and daughter team. The mother was grooming the daughter how to be a cleat chaser and snag her a Major League Baseball player. The mother trained her own daughter since she was a little girl, and they were called the Sauce sisters because. I'll tell that story another day. But they were called the Sauce sisters. No, it's just kind of, it's not bad. I mean, the players, the last game of the season in AAA, before the guys were going back up, the guys were getting called up. The mother was like in her 40s, and the daughter was like in her 20s. And for the little girl, she took her daughter to every baseball game in AAA, groomed her how to chase ball players, guys that are high dollar ball, but guys that are going to make it in the big leagues, get pregnant, trap them. But the mother was a freak. So the players, these young players that had AAA were in their early 20s. So you would think, they were more going to be, but these guys wanted the mama. So they go, please do us this favor. They begged me. I told them I can't do it. I'm not doing it. They wanted to bring the mama and daughter into the locker room and have fun with them, just throw a party. And they got nicknamed the Sausage because they were in the shower room, which is a huge shower room, and these 2 or 3 ball players and the mama, and they were fucking spraying sauce on them, ketchup, barbecue sauce. And they had it all over the fuck clubhouse. But they paid me handsomely because they destroyed the locker room. This night I let them go in the locker room with these 2 bimbos. And they nicknamed them the Sauce Sisters. Because they were in that freaky shit. They liked to be sprayed with ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, and they were freaks. And it was last day of the season for minor league baseball. So I didn't, I just left. I said, I'll be back in the morning. You better not trash. They trashed the place. And they left me, they gave me a good amount of money so I just I was done. I was already ready to go home. I already did my inventory. So I hired a cleaning service come in, paid them whatever they wanted, and I put the rest of my pocket and I went home. I had to drive back to Florida. But, that's the kind of women. If you remember Bull Durham, the one lady that Susan Sarandon, she played the fruity one that was always, jocking she always had jocked one player every year on the team. You know how it is. You know how the cleat chasers are. There's a different girl in every city for some of these players. And then every year, the cycle, the same girls, they pick a ball player. That's how Bull Durham was so guess right on how minor league baseball is. And those women exist. They exist. They make their way to get into the ball player's life. There's a group of women, they call them cleat chasers. There's a lady that has a school. It's like charm school, how ladies go to finishing school to have class and how to properly speak in society. Well, this lady has a school how to teach women how to be cleat chasers and how she gets them ready to snag $1 million ball player. It's a legit organization, this lady. And I'm like, and the players, the smart ones that just, don't take it serious and don't get involved, it's, maybe a one-night stand, they're cleat chasers. That's what they are. That's what we call them in baseball, cleat chasers. They'll do anything to get pregnant and get that bank card. Anything. And if they got to screw 100 guys to get the one guy that's going to marry her and get her pregnant, they'll do it. That's a pig. That's a pig. Worse than a pig. How can you look yourself in the mirror? How do you think that you're good looking or you got class? In the last 10 years, you slept with 100 dicks. Your reputation's real good, lady. Real. I'm just saying, I'm going to make it a figure. I knew one lady that did the entire AAA team every year. The whole team. No, Juan was a good boy. We didn't have time. People don't understand. I was a pretty strict boss. I was all business. I had pet peeves, and we wanted to be the best appearance and presentation in the locker room. I taught them the right way. When we were done with the uniforms, we did it like the major league locker room. We hang the game jerseys outside, hanging in front of the locker. So this way, when you got to the door and you look inside the locker room, you see nothing but blue or red jerseys in a format just like the major league locker rooms. And you go, now we look like a major league team. And I always went to the big leagues when I went up there to do some work or get some equipment for the AAA. And I would see how it was just flawless how these guys after game time prep for the next day, but get the locker room back ready. And it's so cool when you look at the locker room, when you got the nice wooden lockers and you got all blue jerseys, the numbers, and you see all the big stars. You see all the names on the back. And I modeled that as something I gave to the minor leaguers because I don't want to give them too much because you don't want to give them too much with the big leagues because then when they get there, they don't appreciate it. You want them to gradually know what the difference is from minor league baseball to the big league. It's like night and day. You go from steak, caviar, and lobster in the big leagues to round chuck, ground beef hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? You get unlimited anything in the big leagues. Unlimited drink, unlimited water, beer. They stopped it now. There's no beer allowed in any major league locker room. I remember they had 5 coolers with every single beer we had to stock every night. That's the biggest part of the behind the scenes. Even when you're a boss and you're the head guy, you can't forget one thing. You got to order so much stuff for the locker room. And here's the worst part: a major league equipment manager gets probably about $60,000 a year salary. Maybe some guys just starting out maybe 40. But those guys stay in those jobs for 40 years. They die. They won't quit unless they get fired. In rarity, they don't get fired unless they really did something wrong. Charlie Sanders of the Mets, he was embezzling money because he was the equipment manager / travel executive. He was a gambler, so he was stealing money from the till, and they caught him because he had control of all the money on the road. They'd give us a money bag on the night before team would travel. He passed out all the meal money, all the expenses that were incurred, anything that, and it would be probably $50,000 every road trip because he would, but he was robbing that money, writing forwarding receipts. He's turning receipts and keeping the money, and he finally got caught. He went to federal prison, and that's the only way those guys leave, because they're usually guys that are juiced in. You don't see these jobs. You don't see no bat boy jobs or clubhouse jobs in the newspaper, do you? You never saw that. You got to know somebody. And when you become the head guy, it's a cash cow, especially if you take care of players the right way. Major league players that make big money, they throw money at you. I mean, I used to, as a bat boy, Bill Manlock would give me $100 bill every time he came in to play the Cubs to go to Yum Yum Donuts, which is out in front of the ballpark. So I had to walk from Sheffield and Addison, where the Vizzy Clubhouse was, go out the gate, walk around the ballpark, or I could walk through the stand and go out the security door. And then you had the Cubs parking lot where the players park. That same part was Yum Yum Donuts. He wanted scrambled eggs, bacon, orange juice, and cinnamon rolls. The whole bill was like $13. Every morning when he came, because it was all day getting there, I get the same breakfast, $100 bill, keep the change. 80 every day, Bill Manlock, keep the change. I had 3 or 4 players. Hey, go get me a couple of hot dogs from the Vienna hot dogs place across the street at the bar. $50 bill. Hot dogs were like $3 a piece. Oh, how many you want? Get 4 hot dogs. 12, 13, tops, maybe $15. I get 35. Some guys give me 100. They never, it's not like they say, here, I already got this big bill, bring me change. Keep the change. I tried to, Randy Jones gave me so much tip because I did a lot of running for him. I tried to put it back in his suit jacket because it was just, enough's enough, man. I appreciate it. And he got pissed at me. He says, don't ever. Did I ask you? He goes, I want you to have it. When I went on the first road trip with the Cubs, and we all got meal money. You get a meal money on for the travel secretary. Now, back in those days, I think meal money was $45 a day. Now it's like $120 a day. That's part of their contract. And that doesn't come out of their contract. Players get $120 per diem in the big leagues, I think it is. So if you're on a 10-day road trip, they don't just give it to you daily. They give you the whole thing. So that's $1,200, $1,300. Back in our day, we did, I think, 8-day road trips. And I was allowed to go on 2 a year. Sometimes they were 9. There were 3 sets, like 3 in Atlanta, 3 in Cincinnati, 3 in Houston. Yeah, they did all 3 sets in the big leagues back then. So it would be 9 games or 6-game sets. So I would take a West Coast trip and an East Coast trip. I was allowed to pick. I could go 1-on-1. And the players, I would get my envelope, and I couldn't spend $1 because if they saw me in the hotel at the restaurant, they would come and grab the bill that they paid for it. If they saw me out away from the ballpark at a restaurant and they were there, I would go, can I have my check? It was already taken care of. So my meal money went home with me. And then 10 or 12 players gave me their envelopes. They would throw it at me and say, here, kid, it's for you. I'd go home after a homestand with not one envelope open with whatever each player got. And I would just throw it away in my drawer. I stuffed money in my drawer when I was a kid, teenager. Till my mother found my stash spot. And I came home one day and about a couple grand was missing. I was steaming, man. But I was saving, man. I was saving. I was going to buy me a nice car. And Mama found that. And she wanted to know where all, why you make that kind of money? Yeah, Ma, I do a lot of hard work for the players. I run around here. I run around there. There was Buy the Blue. Is there a hardware store near here? Yeah. I need some cork. He was going to cork bats because he was pitching that day. Give me nails. He'd give me the list. Could you get all this stuff? Yeah. And he'd right there. He'd be doing it right into the clubhouse. I go buy the stuff and they do it. When big time, and when George Brett with the pine tar and all that, well, cork and bats was big in those days. And then steroid, because I was already working in the big leagues. I'm glad I didn't work in the big leagues for steroids because I was an addict by then on my stuff. And I probably would have went down the wrong rabbit hole with that. I would have got myself in probably a life ban and probably imprisonment if I would have been working in the major league locker rooms with. I know me. I'm blessed that I was working in the minor leagues because that era with the steroids, they were using clubhouse guys, they were using trainers, they were getting it into the United States any way they can from Mexico, and people were risking their jobs and their lives for it. And I probably would have, for the money, I probably would have. The way they were tipping, I would have probably hands down would have got packages coming to me for them from Mexico. I know I'm without even sitting there saying I would not lie to you guys. I know me. The money that they would have paid me, I would have done it every day. And I would have got caught. Someone would have ratted on me, and I would have got a life banishment from Major League Baseball. I would be blackballed. And that would be bad because it's the game that I loved. It's a job I loved. And I wish I still was working. So I'm grateful for that. Everything's for a reason. I left for those couple of years because I was having a kid and money wasn't so great working as a clubhouse assistant or a bat boy. I made good tips, but I couldn't support a family on it, you know. It's time to be a man now. I had a baby on the way. And I left and then all of a sudden it blew up. Those jobs blew up and clubhouse guys were making $500,000, $600,000. The Yankee clubhouse guys were making $1 million a year in tips. When he retired and his sons, it was the Cacuzo brothers, Ray Cacuzo, I think, was on the visiting side, his brother, and Vince Cacuzo was the home guy. When Vince died, Ray was cleaning out his office because Vince lived in the locker room all year round. He had a room in the clubhouse that he made his bedroom. The Yankees let him live there all year round because that was his life. He had to, he was ordering equipment in the off season. 40 years, George Steinbrenner loved him, but he was stuffed every one of his tips away for 40 years. When they went over there, they found like $2 million of tips stuffed all over his room, everywhere in the locker room. He never spent a dollar. The guy saved and died and never got to spend the money. But the Yankees had such a high payroll. And I'm literally telling you, if a guy writes you a check for $5,000 like an A-Rod, that's like wiping $20 bill up his ass. That's nothing to him. He wrote Zach Manassian a $50,000 check after spring training as a tip. And $50,000 to a guy like him making $252 million a year is like you and I spending $20. It's nothing to them. And that's how Zach bought his house in Arizona with that money down payment. And if they like you, because clubhouse guys get really close with players, and sometimes you get really like best friends with them, and and they don't forget. Look at Carlton Fisk with the White Sox clubhouse guy. He loved him. Pete Rose bought every clubhouse guy a brand new car. With the World Series when they won the World Series, he'd buy cars for the head guy, the assistant, the bat boys. They would cut him in for a share. The bat boys back in '75, they each got $30,000 a piece out of the till, because the players vote for the money for the World Series and anything for the playoffs and the World Series. The players say who gets paid. If they don't want to give money to the manager, if they don't want to give money to the clubhouse guy, they vote in shares. And if they like you, a clubhouse guy get full share. Today, a full share is what, $500,000, and you get it like 3 days before Christmas. It always comes like 3 days for Major League Baseball. The check comes like 3 days before Christmas. You wake up and you got $500,000 because you just won the World Series. You got a ring coming in spring. You get the ring in spring training the next year, and you get that big check around Christmas time. Perfect timing. Unfortunately, I never got to be in the World Series. I never got to enjoy that. One thing I wish I did. But my buddy, the team he worked for, Cardinals been a lot of World Series here. I had a friend who worked with the Cardinals. A lot of rings, a lot of money. Keith Hernandez, the Mets, they loved Charlie Samuels. And it was a shame that he was embezzling money for them. Him and Strawberry, he was involved with everything. The cocaine with Strawberry and Gooden, all that stuff, all that shit. Charlie was a one-man army. He'll supply anything the players as long as they're paying him. Now, Mike Piazza was really close with Charlie Samuels. And he made a bet with Charlie was kind of heavy. And Charlie was a really well dresser because I knew Charlie really well. And I went to I went and met him in LA when I was 19. I flew to LA when the Mets were there. They were going to LA, San Diego, and San Francisco. So I told him I'll fly to LA and meet you guys in LA, and I'll go with you on your. So I went with the Mets on that road trip because I worked at a visiting clubhouse. I knew all those guys. So Charlie made a bet. This was after the fact of that, but when I was out there, this was Piazza came in because when I was there, who was the catcher? It was Piazza was just kept coming in, but it was the other two Dodger catchers. I forgot their name. Ferguson, Joe Ferguson, and what if the starting catcher, but Piazza came in. You know, he's Tommy Lasorda's nephew. Tommy Lasorda said he was going to be a star. His nephew was going to be a superstar Hall of Famer, and he was pretty boy kid. Everybody thinks they call everybody Piazzas in the Delaware. It's from Mike Piazza. There's a lot of rumors that Mike might have been gay, and I don't think he was. I never seen any of that in the locker room, but he was really prissy. You know, he was clean cut. You know, a good looking Italian kid, and he was a great ball player. So he told Charlie, if you could lose this much weight by this date, I'll buy you a brand new Mercedes Benz. And Charlie said, hell yeah. And Charlie made the go, and Piazza went and bought him whenever Mercedes Benz he wanted. That's how these players reciprocate if you're a good clubhouse guy to them. You got to know the player's every need. What Oakley lens he wears. He doesn't want to deal with nothing. He don't want to even deal with the agent. You deal with his agent. That's the responsibility. If they think you're that good, they put everything before you. Work is work. So they need their stuff to work. Baseball players a job. They got to have all the right sweatbands that they wear, the right lenses, the right colors for the different times of the day. Rod used to change lenses on his Oakleys 4 times in a game based on what hour it was. You know, and he didn't want to do none of that stuff. You got to do it. When he came off the field, he wanted his soup at a certain temperature or whatever meal he told you to make sure it's there. You didn't do that. You got called a shitty clubhouse guy, and nobody gave you anything. You know what I'm talking about because you worked it. I was teaching you all this. So and I told you I wish you could get the big leagues because that's when you reaped it in the big leagues. That's when it's the best. Now the game's changed. I heard a bunch of coaches in the big leagues got pissed off at some clubhouse guys a few years back, made a complaint to MLB, launched an investigation. Now there's no more clubhouse dues. The clubhouse guys lost all their income. So what they did is they jerked them up to like $90,000 a year salary, and they don't get no clubhouse dues money from the players no more because these coaches who didn't want to pay the same price per day that the players are paying. Well, most of the time, if you were a cool coach, the clubhouse guy was making so much of a play, he didn't charge the coaches if you were right. But these 3 assholes, I know who they were, who always complained about it. They're clubhouse lawyers. They screwed everything up for every person in baseball. And Major League Baseball, her pussies, they launch investigations because they got enough scandals. Baseball's dying since the World Series canceled in '94. They have never recovered from that. And there's a lot of jerk-offs in the Major League Baseball office in New York. You know? There are a lot of them. I called one year and I said, listen, I go, this is Joe Catalano, Joseph Catalano, Samuel Catalano. I need to know what you have on file for me in the Major League Baseball computer based on my full-time jobs in the minor leagues, but I worked for the Major League team. If you're full-time in an organization, but you sign in my league, you're considered under Major League uniform contract, even though you work in the minor leagues. If you're full-time. So he calculated, he goes, your 10 years you don't get nothing for being a bad boy because that was all seasonal. He says, but they know. He goes, you got all your full-time with the Rangers, all your full-time with the Tigers, and he's calculating. I got my 10 years. The pension for mine, but you get minor league pension. Don't get made. Here's the thing: they keep track of it because you're full-time employee, so you're under a major league uniform contract, but you're working in a minor, so you don't get major league pension. You get minor league, which is nothing, like $81 or $91 a month for 10 years. 20 years in the minor, 30 years in the middle, you get like $150 pension. But if you work full-time, you're entitled to that. Now, a major league pension, a guy that made big money, if you make it 10 years in the big leagues, you get a full pension. Major league players don't have to wait till 55 or 65 to collect. 45 years old, they can start collecting their pension. Do you know what pension is every month for a major league player that's got 10 years in? $13,000 a month. Month in, month out. That's how good MLB's union was. They protect. Now, the trainers, they get no pension. Clubhouse guys, full-time in the major league, no pension. They didn't protect those 2 guys. Now, the trainers, I heard, just got in on the last contract. The head trainer is now under the pension plan, which he should be. He's part of the team. He's on the field with them. Even though he's not playing, a trainer is really the guy. You know that. He is with the team everywhere. He does everything for them. So he should be. They finally got them. But the clubhouse guy, the head guy, he's part of the team too, considered when you're full-time. And he goes on all the road trips. And they never to this day have given a clubhouse guy part of that pension. That's the shitty part. Because he should be entitled to it. worked 50 years, he should be able to get that pension too. Now, I don't think anybody else, assistants or they should get into that, but the head guy should. And they finally let the trainers in. I was talking to a couple buddies of mine not too long ago that finally made it to the big leagues, but they're assistant training. They said the head guy is finally on a pension plan. That's a big victory for them. They fought it for years, but the players, they didn't feel like that they should get on a pension. And finally, whatever happened, they did. But definitely, the clubhouse guys have never been presented to go, and that's not right. If I was a head major league clubhouse guy and I traveled everywhere, like at every road trip, and you're part of the team. You're providing. They're hitting the baseball and pitching the ball. The trainer's taping you up when you get injured, and the equipment manager is making sure you got that equipment to hit that ball, catch that ball. He's in the dugout getting you. If you if you lose a button or you tear a shirt, he's running down to his trunks, his extra trunks with all his extra uniforms, making sure that your name tag's on there so you for the next inning. So he should get a pension, and they still haven't done it, and that's horseshit. You know, they got a lot of Bud Selig. He was a jerk off. I didn't like Bud Selig. The actor's father, the one that died of a heart attack, the one that had to suspend Pete Rose. What's his name? Paul Giamatti's father, Bart Giamatti. That's Paul Giamatti, the actor's father. Paul Giamatti as a kid growing up, he was at every Major League Baseball stadium growing up. He played baseball, became a famous actor. That's his dad. His dad had a heart attack on the shitter because he was getting so much press and people bothered him with the Pete Rose scandal. He was going to announce the next day that Pete Rose was going to have a 1-year ban. He was going to allow him to come back. Pete Rose had all his stone. Next morning, he gets a phone call. He had a heart attack on the toilet. Bart Giamatti. That deal that he had with Pete Rose, no one else knew about the deal in the Major League office. Pete got a lifetime ban. That's a true story. Pete was so confident. 1 year suspension. We took care of it. He dies. The contract went with the grave of Bart Giamatti. Pete Rose never could prove it that they had that conversation. Faye Vincent stepped in, hated Pete Rose, and life banned his ass. All Pete had to do was one thing. Just submit you bet on baseball, and we won't ban you for life. He denied it for 30 years. He writes a book, goes on Barbara Walters, and he goes, I got a confession to make. He don't go in privately with them. He puts it on over ABC World News that he bet baseball and he bet his own team, but he never bet him. He never fixed anything. And Major League Baseball said, it's too late, pal. 30 years too late. And he's still. Now, do I agree he should be a Hall of Famer? You goddamn right. Pete Rose has got the all-time hit record. That man should be in the Hall of Fame. Do I think he should ever be around the baseball players for what he did? No. He broke one of the most sacred rules, and he bet on his own team. And he brought down a lot of people, a lot of clubhouse guys, a lot of trainers. He had friends on the outside that he made like he was their best friend, draining their bank accounts. Big scandal. He went to prison for tax evasion. Pete charged so much cash to do those shows where he signs autographs, bats, balls, and he would get cash, 20, 30,000 handed to him when he showed up. And he put it in a bag, and whatever clubhouse guy he took out with him, you know, because we all knew each other, he had massive amounts of cash there. But he was such a degenerate gambler. When he come to Chicago, he was a degenerate. I got him a suite at Sportsman Park in Hawthorne, his own private teller, because they would mob him in the stands because he was so degenerate. He just couldn't help himself. To this day, he's still a degenerate gambler, and that's what cost him. Just like A-Rod. A-Rod got caught playing all those poker games with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and all these big Hollywood parties, and they told him, you better straighten up, A-Rod. You better straighten up. And what happened? He'll never be a Hall of Famer. One, he juiced up since he was 15 years old. He's a liar. And I'll call him out on that if he ever gets to see it. I'll tell him he's a liar because I know for a fact he was juicing than you when he was with the U.S. baseball team. I got 100% facts that he was, and he lied his whole career. Individually, he was all by himself. He wasn't a clutch hitter. He had one chip, 5'2" player. Alex Rodriguez was the best 5'2" player in baseball history. Any scout will tell you that. And was the most self-centered, ignorant asshole. He wasn't a clutch hitter. That's why he only had one World Series. Jeter hated him. He had a great family. He goes to New York. He's on the cover of the Post. going out the back door, paying $1,000 a night with hookers when he's got a wonderful kid and wife at home, and he don't care what gets in the papers, and she sees it in the papers. Now he's back with his ex-wife after he couldn't even handle J-Lo. He had J-Lo was going to be his wife. He fucked that up because he's an idiot. Because he thinks he's a 6'4" pretty boy with his blue eyes, and he's A-Rod. He can do whatever he wants. No. And I knew him fucking real well. I was on an everyday first name basis with him, but he did me wrong too. He's a scumbag. He's not a nice guy, And I don't give a shit. I told him that day when I had an argument with him in the locker room when he came down to rehab. I told his ass out in front of everybody. I don't give a shit who you are. You put your pants leg through that same hole like I do. You wipe your ass just like I do. Just because you think you're big and you are a major star, you ain't treating nobody on my staff or me like I'm beneath you. I didn't take crap from players. In those days, we were protected. Today, you get smart with a player, they fire you. That's why I retired. No more protection for clubhouse guys. Game changed. Players start making more money, and they started making the rules. Ain't for me. I was old school. So let me hit the chat room now. I go on and on, guys. You know me. All right, so we got let's see what we got here. We got the CDP network. Can't see your face. What do you mean can't see my face? You got to see my face. I'm ugly. I ain't good looking. And he just left. He leaves. He gets. This is a game he works in, and I'm just trying to share stuff. He could jump in any time and know what he shared with it, and he leaves just like that. He do his own show like that. He's the commissioner. He can do what he wants, I guess. Just leaves in the middle of me talking. I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, he probably did. Now, he wouldn't do that purposely. She's right. He probably died. His thing ran out, battery. He's a great kid, though. He's tired, too. I can see it in his. Reverend Billy, I got a Derek Jeter. Keep that card. Worth a lot of money. Derek Jeter and the guy with the Atlanta Braves that played the second baseman, the one that stayed his whole career with the Braves. His card is worth big money, and so is Jeter. Jeter rookie card worth big. Not going to lose value. Jeter was a class act. I never met Jeter. I don't know. I know of him. I know stories about him. Never physically ever met him. I didn't work in the big leagues in the American League. I worked I worked for the AAA for the Royals. They were in American League, but I never got to meet the major league guys. I worked for a few teams that was American League, but that was in the minors. But I worked for mostly National League teams. Phillies I worked for. I worked for the Marlins. I worked for the Cubs in the big leagues. I worked for the Phillies. I worked for a lot of years in the minor leagues. But I had a lot of good times at Phillies. But that was my hook. That's where I had all my juice, was all the Phillies front office. Dallas Green and John Vukovich, all those guys who carried a lot of big weight with the Philly organization, all were at the Cub organization for the Phillies, and that I worked for those guys in the big leagues. So they always took care of me. So when I needed to go back to baseball, Dallas Green made sure I had a job in Clearwater at the minor league complex. He took care of me right away. One phone call was done. So I always was. You got to have clout to get those jobs. You got to have clout. You got to know somebody, but you got to act accordingly. You can't embarrass people. I had a tendency of I was very good at my job, hands down, one of the best, and they would never deny me that. But I also was the devil. I'll never forget the time they had a meeting. They were talking about firing me in AAA at the Rangers. I worked full time with the Rangers, and the AAA team, their front office, which they don't own our players, they own the rights to the ticket sales, to the concessions, all that stuff, and they're in charge of their minor league clubhouse. Well, they preferred the Rangers to supply it because they're getting the guy that's the full time assistant minor league equipment manager or the equipment manager who is already in the organization, and this way, it would be less problems for them for the clubhouse guy to come in front office because those are his players from the Rangers, so he could keep it in house with the Rangers. So and plus they knew I did a phenomenal job, but I also was a devil. I also pulled some crazy shit at night off the clubhouse and did some crazy shit. I was pretty well known back in those days, and I did off the chain stuff, man, and I will never talk about. But so I remember Nancy. She was the secretary for Tim O'Toole, who ran the AAA front office. He was the general manager, really commanded a lot of respect. He's got a big title now in Oklahoma. He runs the fairgrounds, the state fairgrounds, and they took care of him because he was in politics his whole life. So he got a juice job by the governor of Oklahoma. And they put him in this position as he's a director and one of the directors, and he takes care of all the fairgrounds in Oklahoma and all that politics stuff. And so he got a sweet job. He's probably retired now. He might even be dead, but he got a nice cush job for the end of his life, or end of his working days. And he was a tough boss. He liked to micromanage. I don't like people that micromanage is tough. I don't like that system. You know, he put this young intern who just got out of college, Mike Pomeroy. One of my guys accidentally, when they would take the cases of baseball. I let the bat boys rub the mud on the baseballs. They were lazy, some of the bat boys, because they were they would come from schools, and I would interview them, and I picked the best ones I thought. But you always got one that was just lazy, so they do a half-ass job. Oh, I got to rub baseball. I'm not good at it. Listen, it's part of being a bat boy. You got to rub baseball. So they would cry and complain. So they start getting slick. I didn't know this. I didn't catch it. They were 10 dozen of baseballs in a case. I'd have them rub 2 cases a day. We didn't go through that many. But just wait. If you rub them for the first couple months, then you might not have to rub no more, because we got a ton of cases already rubbed. And I'm doing you a favor. And then maybe in August or late July for 6 weeks, you got to touch rubbing baseballs no more. You're all done because you got plenty of them. We only went through about maybe 6, 7 dozen a game, 10 dozen in a case. So I'd make them do 2. They were getting slick. They were throwing 8 dozen away in the garbage dumpster every day, not realizing the cost of what they were throwing away. And I thought, so then I'm going to do inventory, and I'm like, wait a second, 2 cases a day. We're only going through 6 on average. I asked the umpires how many balls we go through. I asked the manager, about 6 dozen, and the umpires were right, I guess. About 6 dozen. And I'm counting, so there should be 4 dozen left of that case that it's already rubbed, and you got a full case that's rubbed. And then it didn't add up, and I was missing a lot of baseballs. I think I wound up, it was missing almost 100 dozen of baseballs in a couple month period. Well, Tim O'Toole one day was throwing something out in the dumpster, and there they were for that day, 8 dozen of baseballs to the top. So he thought they were empty. So he was just checking, opens up, they're still they're rubbed baseballs, brand new baseballs are rubbed. So he comes down with 3 of them, knocks on my office door. He goes, "Hey, Joe, you here?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, buddy, I just want to drop this off for you." And he didn't blame me. He said, "You know anything about this?" I go, "No." Where he goes, "I found them in a dumpster." So then I put 2 and 2 together. I go, I didn't say nothing about the inventory, because it was our budget, the Rangers, so I wouldn't tell him anyhow. We paid for it out of the Rangers budget. So it came out of our till. So from that point on, it became mine and Chris Goots' problem. So I got to call Chris. I got to fill him in right away, because it's coming out of his budget. He ran the $2 million budget for the entire minor league system. And I'm talking for Dominican everything. 7, 8 teams. You got the low A ball, rookie ball, low A ball, high A ball, double A, triple A. You got the Venezuelan team. You got the Dominican team. You got the Latin America team. You got the Winter League. All that budget was for everything. So I got to report this. I got to tell them, listen, we're missing about 100 dozen baseballs, and now I know where the 100 went. And he says, "What happened?" Well, Tim O'Toole found 8 dozen. I guess they've been dumping 8 dozen. And then finally they admitted it. And that's a lot of money. If you know what the baseballs cost, it's one of the most expensive things you buy besides the bats. Very expensive for a case of baseball. I think $450 per 10 for minor league baseball is $450 to $550 for a case of 10. 10 dozen is a case of minor league baseball. And major league baseball, forget it, they're off the chain what they charge you. And that's wholesale. That's why you buy, when you go to the store, they're $25 a piece, Major League Baseball, because they're very expensive. And that's Rawlings. I think it was Rawlings that made the baseballs, I believe, and made big leagues. But they're nice. I mean, they got the commissioner's signature on there, American League. I mean, it's something cool. But in the minor leagues, Pacific Coast League, it would say, whatever league it was. And so I had a lot of baseballs missing, and I had to be accountable for it. And I went to my boss, told him everything. We know what happened. So now it's in the hands of a guy that knows how to work the budget very well and knows how to recover some of this back by other ways. So we never got in trouble, because he recouped that 100 dozen baseball other ways in other parts of the budget that it didn't. No one knew it was gone, and we didn't lose the money. He was very good at that. So I mean, but these bat boys, you give them a job, you help them out, and these fucking idiot punk kids are so lazy. Instead of say, "I don't want to do it, man. I'm sorry, I can't finish it," and just give me the 8 dozen, they're throwing them in the garbage. And thank God that Tim O'Toole was going down to throw something out and was walking in the corridor for whatever reason. He probably was trying to catch me doing something and lurking by my office door. I caught him out there one day. I thought I heard somebody at the door, and I ran to the door, and I opened up, and he was acting like he was trying to come up with the key. He was spying on me, listening to my conversation, because there was one of the guys that worked for the Rangers that was getting a group together, and he was going to buy the Oklahoma team, and Tim O'Toole already had it sold to an organization that was they were Oklahomans, and they were friends of his, and he wanted to make sure they got the sale. And this guy John, who had a lot of money, who had a small interest in the big club, put a group together to buy it. And he didn't like the guy, and he would come and see me because John liked me when he would come trips, be in my office. So every time he knew he was down, he'd come and eavesdrop because he knew that I was feeding him information because he works in the Ranger front office. He's one of my bosses, and I didn't care about what Tim O'Toole said. Okay, I didn't. He told me one day I was fired. I told him his hands didn't reach that far. I swear to God, he said, "You're fired. Get out of my." I said, "Your arms don't reach that far." I've had a bad day. I got too much work to do. I got equipment. We're going on a road trip tomorrow. I ain't got time for your shenanigans or your big bully Irish ass to bully me because your arms don't reach that way. He made a phone call up to Arlington, and they said he's our employee. Those are our players. You don't want him in your front office? He won't go in your front office. You don't want to have anything doing for you guys? He won't do it. He stays. And I told him, you're not getting me. You cannot fire me. Your arms don't. They don't reach that far. If I worked for you and it was your employee, then you could fire me. But I wasn't. I was under contract with Texas Rangers. So, and then he turned out to be an all right guy though, because he did me a solid one year. After he left, I ran into him and he did me a big solid. And generally I respected him and he was a good boss. I just like to micromanage. But he forced his son to work at my locker room, his stepson. And if you want to meet the laziest, most idiotic, uneducated, this kid was his stepkid. He even knew his stepkid was an idiot, but he couldn't talk to him like that because if the mother found out, she would divorce Tim. But Tim was a powerful force in Oklahoma, and he made a lot of money. And the mother, she had stability, but her kid she loved, and he thought the kid was an idiot, and everybody did. Well, this idiot kid went to college, and somehow he robbed. You know where you make the IDs? Whenever you go to college and you got to go snap the ID for your picture. He would get drunk with his friends that the degenerates he went to college with, and they robbed the machines that made all the IDs, and he was making fake IDs on campus for all the people that could go out drinking in bars. He got caught, of course. So he gets expelled, get thrown out of college. So now he's got to be home. So the mother loves him, but she don't want him home with her in the summer. So she says, Tim, can't you give him a job at the ballpark? He said, yeah, I'll put him in the clubhouse. Oh, of course, because he don't like Tim O'Toole wants to throw it down my throat. So I get this phone call. Hey, Joe, can you come to my office? I want you to meet Blake, my son. And I already heard the 411 because Brandon, who was my assistant, mother was Nancy, who was Tim O'Toole's secretary. And she knew Blake was nothing but always in trouble, always back talking Tim O'Toole, always getting expelled from school, which is a problem kid. So Tim goes, I like him to work in the clubhouse. And I said, well, Tim, part of my contract is I handpick my own guys. I bring my own guys in. I don't have an opening. Well, just do me the favor, make room for him. And I'm like, Tim, I really don't have the time to train somebody. You know how it demand. And I was really trying to be polite with him. He goes, I'm not asking, I'm telling you. He gave me big old Irish temper. He stood up. He was a big old tall man, very vocal with his voice, strong Irish guy, and he tries to strong arm me. So instead of me arguing like I always did with him, I said, okay, all right, no problem. So this kid comes down there, and I'm telling him his duties. He goes, I ain't doing none of that shit. You make me do that, I'll go tell my father. That's what he said to me every day. Okay, all right. And Brandon already warned me how he was a little brat. And me doing that to me, oh, my God, I wanted to slap the shit out of him. But I got him another way. So Brandon said, he's a motherfucker. I'm telling you. He'll go threaten you every day. He's going to cry to Tim. And he's got you by the nuts. I go, no, he got me by the nuts. Nobody owns me. So we play nice guy. We try to really suck up to him, be his best friend. And then he fell for it, like a young boy would. So he starts trashing his old man. We got tape recorders in our pocket, me and Brandon. And we're getting them. We're playing cards with him. We're taking them with us out to we go out to bars. We're hanging out with this kid. It was a rough month we doing this to suck up to him. And he was coming to be our best friend. And then he'd be sitting there, and we'd be drinking in the locker room after the homestand. And he'd be like, yeah, fuck Tim O'Toole, my dad. He goes, You guys, and he goes, yeah, fuck you guys too. You both would swing on his nuts if he told you to because you guys are afraid of him too. I'm not afraid of that motherfucker. And he's going on, and he's talking about he thinks he's my dad. He's nothing. That's my mom's fucking dick, not my old man. And he's going on, and we're just man. And he's an asshole, So we got some really deep shit on these tapes. Brandon's idea, because Brandon went to Texas Tech. He was a brilliant kid, and me and him got along good. And I like to blackmail people. That was my thing. If I got dirt on you, I promise you, I had a lot of dirt on people that hired me in baseball that were high positions. I knew some of their dirt because I made it a point. That's how us Italians. We make it a point to find the dirt, the misery, especially if a guy's married or he's got an affair with somebody. How'd your wife know about this? What are you talking about? Well, I don't get this for the clubhouse. If people find out, fall in their laps some pictures. I would do that. I don't give a shit. That's how I was. And I got whatever I wanted, and pay what I wanted to. I pretty much, the last 10 years, wrote my own contract, what I was getting, what I wanted to be paid. I had a condo paid for. They trade out season tickets for a condo for me all year round. I didn't just get it for season. Because if I went over to Florida, I had to come back throughout the winter to take things, to do inventory, or wait for new packages, new uniform. I wanted to rent a car all year round. And I got it. I got anything I wanted, man. And because I did my job right. When it came to my job, I did it professional. So Blake, it's time now. I'm ready to bust him in his head. And he goes upstairs and lies his fucking ass off about me. I get a phone call. You need to come up to my office right now. And sir, I would pack your office because I'm pretty much you're going to be fired. I said, I already told you your arms are reaching away. I'm busy. He goes, I'm going to make a phone call to Arlington. You better be up here. So get up there. Blake's gloating. I got your job. I'm getting you fired. And Brandon's up there with me, Nancy's son. And me and Brandon are looking at each other. Yeah, you really got us, Blake. And he goes, you two sit down. I go, no, I ain't sitting down nowhere. But before you start going on a panic there, we pulled out these tape recorders and said, feast on this, call us in an hour. The phone picked up. He said, I'm sending down my assistant to pick up all Blake's stuff in the locker room. Blake will no longer be with us. Never saw the kid again. Not only did we banish him out of our fucking locker room, Tim O2, I had him by the nutsack. Because you don't con me. You don't get over on me. I put the fix in, not you. And from that point on, Tim O2 never fucked with me again. I called his ass right out. And I said, if you don't do the right thing, I'm going to take this to his mama. And I'm going to show his mama what kind of boy she's got. And I'm playing the tape for her. And Brandon, and we had a great season without Blake, the mental stepchild. But I was inherited. I had a half idiot, Craig Jaggers. Now Craig was instilled. I inherited him when I got the job. He was a bad boy. He was like a Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's how he paraded himself. And he whined. They loved Craig. He was Mr. Team, and he was a little slow, and he couldn't multitask. And I go, they go, he stays with the team. There's no negotiating. He keeps his job. All right. So I got to know Craig, and he was a good kid. And I go, so what do you know about the clubhouse business? Well, I was always a bad boy. I go, do you know how to clean spikes? Yeah, we got to clean them every night. We clean them. I clean them. Like, well, let me show me see how you clean plays. Do that whole row, and when you're done, come and get me in my office. I go, look. I'm like, okay, we can't clean shoes. All right, that not bad. Okay. Did you what's the prep work when you got to go? What do you got to bring out the field before game time? Well, I take towels out over the bullpen. I take out towels for the trainer. I put out the Gatorade in the dugout. I go, yeah. Is there anything else? Oh no. I go, what about cups for the Gatorade? Oh yeah, the cups. Yeah, I always forget that. I go, okay. So here's a small list of bat boy duties. I'm going to keep you as a bat boy for now. So you got a chance to maybe break assistant. But here's the list. Simple thing. These are the things you got to do every day before game time. Right? He couldn't multitask. Nice kid. Always wanted you to come over and swim with him in his pool. He'd invite players over. He would be all googly-eyed. And I thought he was like a little weird. And I'm like, but he's a nice kid. He really was a good-hearted kid. So I was never mean to him. I actually liked him, but he couldn't multitask. But he was a good tool for me because he knew how to go shopping. So my best defense with him is take him out of the clubhouse where he did all the damage and make him go do the shopping for the clubhouse supplies and all the the food I needed to cook. And then what came with that, I go, you got a Visa card? Yeah, I got my own credit card. I go, good. The homestand started yesterday. Keep all the receipts I pay at the homestand. He's paying with his own credit. So I didn't have to even put him out of pocket my money. I could buy all the scratch tickets I want because I don't got to be, I'm going to pay him out of the till when I get paid. I had a beautiful thing going. I got him out of the clubhouse. He wasn't a pain in the ass to me. All my assistants were happy. He knew how to shop. That's one thing he knew how to do. And he'd go and buy all the food for the locker room and he paid for it. And I pay him every homestand. Perfect system. I trained him perfect. I took him to spring training. I even gave him a job in spring training. My boss, I brought every one of my guys from spring training. Chris goes, all right, boys, you guys are going to be clubhouse guys. Here's where you make a break, working 7 days a week, 15 hours a day in spring training. Don't make a break if the team is going to be clubhouse guys. 2 weeks into it, he goes, where did you get the moron at? I go, that's Jaggers, man. He's part of the team. He's like a nephew of the owner or something. I don't know. I go, he goes, that kid is dumber than a box of rocks. He ain't never going to be a clubhouse guy. He can't do even full towels right. I go, I know, you got to nurse him around. I go, he's good for a lot. I go, send him on all the errands. Point him, let him go out tonight and learn all where the balls are to shop, and just send him out to go do all the shopping or all the running for all the front out for their lunches. He'll do a good job at that. He's good at that. Get him out of the clubhouse. So my boss goes, all right, that's a good idea. So we do that. He still sent him home early. I mean, he was like a little kid in a candy store. And I always thought he was lighting us over because he'd always stare at cocks at the players when they were naked. And I'm like, well, you like that or something? He goes, you don't look. I go, no, I see everything, but I'm not there like gawking at it. I mean, it's part of the business. They're running around naked. I'm running around picking up towels and uniform. And players, if you bend over, they'll come right up to you and put their balls right in your fucking nose. That's how sick they are. You know, I had Freddie Dosey. He had the locker outside my office. He'd take a shower, open his fucking towel, sit in his chair in his locker, and he was hung like a fucking horse. And he'd go, yo, come here. You like anaconda? And I'd fucking hit him in the fucking head with a newspaper. Get that motherfucker snake in your ass out of my clubhouse. He'd sit there naked. You like anaconda? This is not what they get. These sick bastards. Well, Craig liked it. I go, Craig, yeah, but you're not supposed to cock gaze. You know, it's part of the business, but I don't sit here and like you're like, you know, like you're into it, dude. You know, that's kind of gay, you know? And the players might take offense to this. And he goes, no, I love these guys. I want to have them over for my house. We're going to go swimming in my pool. He was like a little kid. He was a little off. His mother was a nice lady, but she was warped too. I see where he got it. His dad cut out when he was a little kid. He had a sister. He was a good kid. He was good to his mother. He was a good brother. He always wore a collar shirt. He came with pressed pants, red hair, freckle kid. And he couldn't handle pressure. I had to stop multitasking. He couldn't get two things done at one time. I found the things that he was best at. I made him do that. And then I yelled a lot. My problem is I yelled at everybody. And one day I was yelling at two kids, and I was ripping them. And the player came out. He goes, we're not putting up with that. You're not going to yell. I go, and what are you going to do what are you going to do? I'm going to go complain to the general manager. I'm writing letters. I go, okay, no problem. He goes, you can't treat kids like that. I go, I can when they're my own fucking sons. He goes, I didn't know they were kids. Sorry, I didn't mean to interfere. I used to dog my kids. My two sons, they had to be perfectionists. They caught more shit than my bat boys did. Because if they didn't do it the way I wanted it, I could terrorize them. Because when we walk through that test row, Dominic, you're not my son, you're my employee. Learn. He's 9, 10 years old. Learn what it is to work hard and become good at what you do. Became one of the best clubhouse guys in the business. I trained him hard. But when I was mad, oh my God. Them guys, my assistants would go, if I came out and I looked red face out of my office because they fucked up something, they hung up the uniform, players come and complain every day to me. I'm the guy they're going to complain to because I'm responsible. And I go out there every day. You fucking morons. I call them you dumb, little, stupid mother effers. You can't do nothing right. And I was a good boss because I took the time and nurtured them on the good to teach them the right way. But when they pissed me off, I was like players used to love it. They used to antagonize me to go off. I was their amusement. Like the Dabbleverse used to like it. Same way in the locker room. Players used to provoke me and laugh and they would get amusement before the game. It was great though, because I was close with a lot of players. But I'll never forget Jonathan. He was a good worker. And He was really good. I said, you could be a good clubhouse guy. He wound up getting married to a nice woman. He still married to her. He went to college, got all buddy degrees. He got a big job at FedEx. But he always had a soft spot for the AAA. So when I went back in 2010, he already had graduated. And I go, Jonathan's not here no more? He goes, yeah, he comes at night. He does the shoes for free. He just wants to be part of life. I go, you kidding me? This guy was could have been a major league clubhouse guy. I trained him so good. He came up to me about 5 years. I went back to Oklahoma, and I was going to Oklahoma, and I called him to have lunch with him. And he came, and he was an executive with FedEx, and their hub is in Oklahoma. And he had this big old Afro kid. He was, Jonathan was a good kid, and he was still going to ballpark and game days and doing the shoes for free, volunteering. And his wife loved the game. And he came up to me, and he goes, you're the best boss I ever had. You trained me to be a top-notch clubhouse guy. And I almost took the job, but I'm married, and I wanted to be, what I went to college for. He goes, I thank you for all the things you yelled at me every time you called me a cocksucker, every time you called me a mother. He goes, it woke me up to be a man, more first and foremost. He says, and we never got angry at you because we know we messed up a lot. And you just had a way of, when you got mad, that's how I didn't hold it in. I didn't care, but I protected them. They were hired by me. If they got in trouble, anything outside the clubhouse, I would step in and say, they didn't do nothing. I did it. I take the hit. I stood up for my crew. I didn't let them go. Tim O'Toole was firing Jonathan and Patrick. Now, Patrick was a good clubhouse guy, but he had a mouth on him. A mouth with me doesn't work. He always had an attitude with me and always trying to one-up me on his smartness. Patrick had long hair. He was a gamer, lazy kid, but he was a good clubhouse guy. They liked him. He had a personality. I had to suspend him. So Tim O'Toole goes, I'm firing Jonathan and Patrick. This is my first year there. I go, Tim, don't fire them. Let me take them under my wing. Let me work with these kids. Do me this favor. He goes, who's going to run the physical clubs? I go, I'll let them be in charge of the physical club, but under me. I'll take it over, and I'll pay them. You don't even have to pay them. I'll put them on my payroll for the players pay me, and I'll take care of them. I'll give them $75 a game each of them. I do pretty well in the physical club, and I'll take care of. I'll change the menu. I'll do all the cooking. We'll make it like a major league clubhouse. So I train these kids. Patrick always defied something. We didn't do it like this. I go, well, this is how you do it when this is the right way you do it. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, Patrick. In the big leagues, I know what players need. I know what they like. So Patrick, it took a long way. I suspended them 4 times. I would never fire them because I knew they'd be good. But I gave him a lot of suspensions, and Jonathan just excelled. Patrick called me and thanked me for being the boss I was. He got a full-time position in the clubhouse with the Yankees because of the way how I rode him and taught him the right way. That, to me, was worth those 2 phone calls of my 2 former sisters called me, who both of them could have been in big leagues, because I trained them right, because I was talked to like that. My boss in the big leagues, the clubhouse manager, used to call me every MFer cocksucker in the world. I was 12, 13, 14 years old. And Dallas Green heard him demoralize me and swearing at me and making me cry and said, you don't talk to kids like that. When Dallas Green became the general manager of the Cubs, he fired Ronnie Zero and promoted me to assistant clubhouse guy and brought in his own clubhouse guy and made me the assistant. That's when I got him. Dallas Green was the last team in the year before the Cubs made the transition to bring Dallas over. Now, we didn't know that. Dallas just said, I'll see you guys next year. I heard you're not managing no more. He goes, good things are coming, kid. The minute he took the contract in November, when he took over the Cubs, December, he called me, Gary Stark, a couple other people, and he goes, I fired Ronnie Zero, especially what he did to you that day, that last game. I was by myself because the other bat boy went to school, and his parents wouldn't let him come for the last homestand. I'm lugging. The old clubhouse was a climb of stairs, a maze to the dugout. The bat bags that the Phillies and the Pirates had, 30, 40 bats in these bat bags. They weighed. I had to carry them through the tunnel. And now the team bus, I got to put down a bus because they're going to the airport. Packing up the dugout by myself. I took a little time. I'm a little 4'7" kid in 8th grade that worked my tail off, knew the game the back, and I did it right because it's going on a plane. He come down there and ripped me because he was short in the clubhouse. And he just ripped on me, Ronnie Zero. And here's a guy that he would bring fat ladies in the clubhouse at night. and he was famous for going down on women. That was he called his name was Ronnie 69er. And everything in his underwear and all his uniforms that he wore when he was working, 69 was in his was in his to know that when we did laundry, that was his. And he didn't ever sleep with any, and they were fat, ugly women, some of the fattest women I've ever seen in my life. He'd bring them in the locker room, in the training room. We're kids, 13 years old, and he would put on a fucking, like he's eating dinner, and he would tease these women. He'd have a knife and fork. He'd go, come on, baby, come and eat dinner. And he'd go down on and make us watch him go down to these fat ladies. I swear to God, hands down. Well, the other bat boy, Dennis, went and told the front office and had recordings and everything of what Ronnie was doing that summer, and turned it all because he fired Dennis halfway through the season. And Dennis goes, don't worry, I'm going to get my revenge. We never knew Dennis was this smart. Dennis turned all this stuff in. We got called in. Is it true that he brings fat ladies in and he performs oral sex on them? And we're looking, me and Gary looking at him like, no. I mean, I don't remember seeing none of that. We stuck up for the prick. We did. I don't remember seeing that. I remember seeing a couple ladies, friends of his, but I don't remember any of that. Okay, well, we got information different. We actually got video. You sure you don't know? I go, I wasn't there for none of that. I don't know what you're talking about. I was stand-up guy. I'm not going to rat. Even though I hated the guy and he was a prick to me, I'm not going to rat. Gary did the same thing. He clammed up and didn't say nothing. But they had to prove. Dennis fucking was a hero. This kid, Dennis, who I hated, I got 3 fist fights with him in the locker room. Fucking, I'll never forget when the Cincinnati Reds were in and the trainer pulled us apart. We were up in the locker room scrapping so hard, yelling at the top of during the game, and we were doing our job. He had a mouth on him. He was like a little prick. And he threw me down the fucking flight of stairs, that little prick. And I got up and I whipped the shit out of him. And I got in trouble also on my job because it wasn't him that started, because a lot of guys didn't like me because players love me, but anybody in the front office, because I had a mouth. If you got cocky with me, I got cocky with you. I didn't give a shit. I didn't follow policy because you told me to. You're not my boss. You might be a boss in the organization. You're not my boss. I was very arrogant with them like that. And this Dennis kid caused me a lot of problems. But at the end, I liked it because he was a hero. He saved us. Because Dallas Green fired him immediately based on what he saw what Dennis turned in. And it was just better for us. But this is what this sick man did. Can you believe this? He used to make us, when I was 13 years old, I had to watch him go down on a fat fucking whale. This is what his specialty was. They loved him. All these women would come to him for that specialty. Not included at that time that little Yosh Kawano, the Cubs equipment manager, a little Japanese guy who wore a white t-shirt, was about fucking 4'8", hated everybody, mean to everybody, didn't like people talking to players, charged the players for their own autographs. I got dirt on him one day because he used to throw me out of the locker room. Less talk, more work. Push broom, no talk players. I go, how can I not talk to players when I'm on the field with them, lugging their bats during the game, or they're telling me make sure I got the pine tar in the pine. How is it impossible? You talk too much. You talk, no talk, more work. Broom, take broom, sweep. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm going to do my job the way I'm supposed to do it. I'm not your sweeping guy. I'm your bat boy. And he used to always call Ronnie up. I don't want that Italian guy over here. He was a Japanese guy. No more the Italian. Talk too much. You write notes down. He kept a notepad. Write notes on me every day. Well, that's right. I said, all right. I said, Gary, I want Yosh bad. He goes, Yosh is like instilled here. He saved Bill Wrigley in World War II. And he gave him a lifetime contract. Even if the team is sold, they have to honor. Yosh Kawano was instilled with the Cubs. Lifetime contract. The Tribune had to take his contract over. With the Cubs for like 60 years. He saved Bill Wrigley in World War II, and he was indebted to him. Made him the Cubs clubhouse guy. Gave him a cook's job. This little Oriental guy, Yosh Kawano. His brother, Nobi, was the equipment manager for the Dodgers. I'm telling you what. Hated people. Well, Yosh liked to dabble a little bit with prostitutes. Found that out. And so I told Gary, I said, listen, is it true, Gary? Because I heard something like that. So I go, I got to know for sure. Well, one day, Ronnie was on the phone to Zero, and the guy that was with the fat pigs, and Yosh would call him every couple of weeks and tell me, can you get that girl for me? I'll stick in the back way and have her in the bathroom. And I knew we got him. Well, Yosh went into the bathroom, got a Hummer for this girl, right? And she was like 18 years old. And here's an old man, who's got who is worshipped by Bill the Wrigley family. And I go, he come out of bed. I go, I got you. And when he saw me, he turned purple. Hey, kid, let's take a walk. Come on. I said, no. Don't work like that, pal. That's how I was trained by all my Italian uncles. You get the dirt on people, and you always got it in the file. Because if you never know when you need to use the files, when someone's coming at you that's trying to hurt you. And to this day, that's how I always operated. And I had him dead to right. And then we even got the girl to tell us on the tape recorder that she serviced him. So I did everything. Gary's still alive. He still works for the Cubs. Call him up randomly and tell him, Joe Catalano tells him about. First of all, he's probably say, I don't talk about Joe Catalano. Because Gary and I had a big falling out. And just ask him some key questions. And he'll tell you, the master of everything. He always got his man. Nobody beat me. I was a little con man because my uncles trained me the streets of Chicago. No one hurt me. That's why I always tell people, you can't hurt me. No one can hurt me. I'm invincible. Only a non-human person can take me out and kill me. Because I trained myself a little boy. I got everybody that was ever cruel to me back. And Yosh Kawano was eating on the palm of my hand. And never bothered me again. Every time somebody hugged me, hey, how you doing? Even after I was gone, I want to go visit some of the players. He'd let me in the clubhouse. Come on, kid, you want something? And I laugh every time. But Yosh, generally, I respect it because he was a good dude, man. They're a different breed, man. You got paid, you worked. I took it more like a limelight. I'm on the dugout with the major league players. I'm hanging out with major players. I'm living the dream. These players love me. They're talking to me. They're sending me on errands. And Yosh didn't believe in that. You work, you keep your mouth shut. Different cat. I respected that. But, and then I respected him, but I didn't do what he wanted because I want to do things my way. That's how I've been my whole life. So, and I always wind up winning the battle. I might lose the battle. I always win the war. Always. And I can't be more real tonight than I am with you people, how I am tonight. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. These are just some of the, I get these things that come out. I just start thinking old stories. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not going to talk no more. I've been on 3 hours. I can't believe this. Juan deserted me. Bobby Nix, I drove him away from me. I'm a one-man show. This is how I'm at my best. Sorry. I still love you guys. Let's do a recap on everything they have tonight. Jake Fire, thank you for the gifted membership. Kahuna Nui, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Jake Fire, thank you for the second one. That's a total of 7. Donkey Kong, $2. No, homie. Thank you for the super chat. Donkey Kong thing with the milestone. Yo, man, I bullshit a lot, but I love y'all. We love you. Miss Kitty throwing out the membership like she always does. Loyal as a fox. Another one of those milestones. Gifted 1 Catalan tea. Oh, this one is this guy, Salty named Redacted. Gifted 1. Thank you very much. Gonzo. Joey C Nation for life. Are you doing Dabica? Love this guy. That brings our total. We got 1, 6, 7, 8, 9 more memberships. 230. 70 away from 500. I think I'm going to make 1,000 by December. Who would ever think Joey C and his crappy microphones and his crappy ways of not knowing, no content, don't know, he's all over the place, could get this much love and actually starts doing a show now and really got things getting in an organized way, would have that many members that love him. We've come a long way, and it's because of you guys. Can't do it without you guys. Thank you. Let's go back to the chat, read a few chats, and then we're out of here. Let you guys get out of here and go do what you got to do. Kuna, trying to keep Spider awake. I'm losing him. Yeah, I know. Hey, kitty. We love you guys. Love you, Kuna. Don't answer. I will SC a baseball question. What, you were talking to me? Or if you don't, were you trying to answer, call me or something? You can SC me whatever you want, buddy. You got carte blanche. You got carte blanche here. Hey, Canoe. Kitty said, hello, Canoe. Canoe, crosstalk. Spider, do you eat Taco Bell? I like Taco Bell. Vince, where you at? I need some Taco Bell, buddy. Send it to my house. Vince, can you order me some Taco Bell? I'm hungry. I'm a chalupa guy. Yeah, I like chalupas. Reverend Billy, who I think the world of, they used to have beard a lot. Yes, they did. But now they don't. Baseball players don't want a change back. And Mike Piazza was very neat and clean. Yes, he was. He was a good guy, Piazza, though. One of my favorite people. He was Tommy Lasorda's nephew. A lot of people don't know that. Great baseball player. They don't have beer. I said that earlier. That we used to have every beer in the locker room, every type, the best. And then no more. They're not allowed to have it. We used to put out chewing tobacco. We used to put out the skull, and players tried to sue because they got cancer from the tobacco. So it's all scrap. Beer is not allowed no more. They weren't really healthy. Now they have full chefs in there to cook you all healthy food or whatever you want. Oriental, you get Oriental. You want Mexican chef. You want good old hamburgers and hot dogs, you got American cook. Some clubhouses got 6 or 7 chefs with 6 or 7 grills. It's like little stations. The club locker room is 50,000 square foot, and they got like 10 restaurants in the clubhouse. Not restaurants that are open, but style restaurants like all the restaurants that are out on the street. They're built like that with chefs for every one of them. Baseball players get treated like gold. For one, they're the highest paid. Number 2, they have the best guaranteed contract of all the unions, better than any sport. Very well taken care of in the big leagues. When they get injured, they don't get cut. They got a guarantee to get their salary. They get an insurance policy on them. Higher the money they make, the more the money's insured. So they got it made. Football players get injured or cut, their career's over. They got to find a new team. I lost the plot like 40 minutes ago. What plot? We're no plot. We're just we told some good stories about family. We've gotten the baseball stories, and I'm just rolling with them. Careful of the tacos. Why, Kuna? What's wrong with the tacos? The lady was hot at the window. I'm lucky I remember that sauce. Reverend Billy. Good guy. All right. I love you guys. Who's this? Holy shit. A big deer just ran across the road. I barely missed. Oh, be careful. They'll wipe your entire car out, Billy. I've hit 2 deer in my life. They destroy cars. They wreck shit. Anybody here smoking weed right now? I'm about to. I don't smoke weed, Billy. I tried it one time. I don't like it. It didn't agree with me. But hey, light up and enjoy yourself. They tried to forget my sauce that they had a kid. I like the real hot sauce. And I like. They got that new taco that's got the cheese on the outside, and then they got the nacho cheese tacos like the Doritos. But this new one, the Los Tacos, they got this thing. It's like a really cheesy and a lot of meat, and I love it, man. I love Taco Bell, man. God, I can eat. Oh, got me all hungry. Vince, send me some food, please. I'm broke as a joke. When does a bat boy become a Batman? True. Well, I do know this. There was a couple of guys that they wanted to be part of the locker room. They always wanted to be Bat Boy. One guy was 65 years old. He was a grandpa, well-established, very wealthy man. But he always wanted to work in the club locker room and be a Bat Boy and hang out with the player. His name was Yogi. And old guy, I'll never forget this day. And Yogi he owned a big company, he had a lot of money, he had a little juice. So he basically made a big donation to probably the Cubs charity to be a Bat Boy. And he worked with me on the field. And I let him do the thing. And he was the nicest man in the world. He lived his dream, and he got the Bat Boy. So he became Batman, I guess when you're in your 20s and 30s, you're still being a Bat Boy. I guess you could be called Batman. The guy over that used to be in Mobile, and I'll show you this kid. He's got autism, and he's the guy I told you story that the players wanted me to get a hooker, but I made it look like it was a bride and a girlfriend and a real date. He is Mr. Baseball. He's the only Bat Boy in history of minor leagues ever get thrown out of a game by an umpire. He would argue with the umpires about a bad call. He'd ride the broom handle like a horse. Every time a player would home run, he'd run the bases. And he was very autistic. He was Rain Man autistic, very smart. I'd come in every day to the locker room. He'd be watching Jeopardy or the other one. And you'd hear the question just finishing. He'd know the answer before anybody could answer. He was so good. Nice kid. I talked to him and reached out to him. I was going to have him on the show here. I was going to interview him. And he goes, I don't have a smartphone. I don't have a camera. So I'm thinking about seeing if he could get a camera to talk to his parents. He's like 40 years old. He's the director of On Deck Circle. Yeah, they closed Mobile up, and he went over to Pensacola now. He's over there with that team. So he's really Batman. Call him Batman. They tried to forget my sauce. Yeah, we already know that, Billy. Billy's got a problem with sauce, people. Please make Billy some sauce. And I don't mean going in the bathroom and jerking him some sauce. Go get him some sauce, people. Come on now. You got to be very clear with these Dabbleverse people. You tell them good sauce, they're going to the bathroom, they shake it, and they're going to get here, Billy, here's your sauce. Ha, ha, ha. Dream man. Dream weaver. cheating, not shooting. Reverend Billy. Donkey, I know most of these podcast hosts are okay, but most people are crap in general. But Bob is not really the greatest guy. He is okay. No, Bob by himself in a podcast, he's not the best. But when he's inserted, because he's funny, his timing's impeccable. But when he's in with Shuli and they're all Bob, he's very good. But he does. Bob gets crazy. I like Bob, but but he's not the best, but he's not the worst either. I'm probably the worst podcaster ever in history. I got the visual, Gina said. I don't think you do. Laugh my freaking ass off. I am glad I'm making you guys laugh. Gina, Joey will be riding bitches on Spider Scoot. I will be. I'll be the bitch on back of Spider Kuna. You know that's right. Free ride. I don't got to pay for gas. You damn right I'm going that route. Come and pick me up, Spider. I'll be holding on his hips and everything like he's my man. You damn right. Get me to A to B for free. I'll go spend no money. I'm riding bitch on Spider's back. You better believe it. Please show up in limos in full tux. I don't know. That's funny that you say that because I was that type of guy. Every event I used to go to, I had a buddy at a limo. I always wore tuxes. I went to team functions. I got drove up. I did that a lot in my life. I always thought I was somebody. I played the part really well. I won a lot of limos, a lot of events. I don't have the money to do that stuff anymore, man. You know, I haven't even tried to raise any money for the trip. You know, I mean, we get our first YouTube thing next week, and I got to split. You know, the morning show gets theirs, Alpha Shot Long gets theirs. Stuff got to go back into the show, and so I'm renting a car. I wish I could rent a Winnebago cheap enough, and we go cross country that way. So I haven't even asked for any donation. I'm tired of people saying I'm begging. The goal. Every time Steel Toe begs for the goal every day. Tukey, when he's got a goal, he gets it. Because it's Tukey, it's okay for him to do it. I do it. I'm a jerk off. Okay. You know, I did right with all the money we got last time. I did it. I went to Hackamania. I did everything right. I didn't cheat nobody. But yet I get these haters that still call me a scumbag. I don't care. But I'm not. I mean, what more am I beat around the bush? Okay. We need donations. It would help us get to New York. We're renting a car. We got to get a hotel for 2 nights. We got to have food. I'll have some money, but it'd be nice to make sure that we're comfortable. So, but I'm not, you know, we're got to go. Our goal is $1,000 for DabbleCon 2. I hear it is official. If you want to donate, if you super chat, it's not going to do no good because that don't get paid till next. It won't get to the end of next month, so the event to be over. So if you want to donate to the cause, you want to donate to the go, anybody, to the DabbleCon 2, where Spider's going, Kahuna New is going. We're taking an entire catalog TV. Kai Procaccio and Miss Honeybee are not going. We offered it, but they're tied up that week. So we're going to represent catalog TV. We're going to make history. I'm more seasoned. I'm tight with everybody that's going there. They're my boys. Carl, I've been hung out with a couple times. Julie and me are best friends. So I'm going to be in a place. I'm going to meet some fans that I really want to meet. This is going to be the other time. Going to Vegas with me as a fan and meeting some fellow podcasters and getting to meet and mingle with the guy. WATP, I was brought on the stage at the end, but I wasn't part of the event, but I was a VIP. But this thing at DabbleCon, they're going to be giving awards out. There's a chance I could probably get an award. This is about the Dabbleverse and John. And I got a history with John and everybody else that's going to be there. I've worked in the shows with all. This is work now. This one is work. This is going to be about Catalano TV as well. I'm not on their card to do it, but I promise you, Shirley will have me on every live show. I promise you, whatever TS did, I'll be right with them. I don't even have to ask. I guarantee that. So, I'm technically, this one counts. So I'm going balls out to really do right by everybody to get more fan base and to hang with the people that I love dearly. That I'll see Rocco again and Carter and have some fun, and Carl and Vinny Paulino and Tio Hanks and all the guys, all the boys, and Teamster Tim ain't going. He said he don't like anything with John, but a lot of people are gonna be there. I mean, John ain't gonna show up either. But this one means a lot to me. This is gonna take Catalano into the next realm, the stage, DabbleCon 2, especially if we can present it with anything and get recognized pretty good. I'm pretty sure that we will, and we may not, but I mean, I guarantee you something's gonna be. We're gonna be part of something. And this one means this is the home run for me. This decides how we climb to the next letter. This one I want bad. This one I want to walk away with 1,000 more people loving me, wanting to be in every show, wanting to mingle, wanting to get to know me, wanting to get to know Mrs. C, wanting to get to know Kahuna, Spider. This one I want bad. So yes, the goal is 1,000. You guys could send it. It's going to go into till. Anything we raise, if we get half of the money, it'll be grateful. You know, you guys want to chip in and make the goal and get me the renting a car for 7 days a week for a full week. I'm going to pay by the week. So figure about $400 or $500 for the car rental by itself. So if I just raise $600, I got the car rental and get some gas money. I'll take care of the rest. I'll be able to take care of the rest. I want to go comfortable this time. I don't want to be looking at an envelope and saying, "Oh man, it was a tight squeeze in Vegas." But this time I'm driving. I got more control. This is more about the channel, and this is more about the fans, even more for the fans. So the goal is 1,000. You guys could Venmo me. You guys could PayPal me, Cash App me. This is only, make sure you put on for DabbleCon 2. Not for Joey C. This is for DabbleCon 2 in the description. Very important. Okay? And I know people are going to donate because I already got a donation in for somebody saying this is for DabbleCon 2. Okay? You don't want me to tell who he is. I got it yesterday. Okay? So no matter who's going to steer up that I'm a beggar, the people that want to donate, they're going to donate. I can't twist their arm or tell them not to. I just put it out there. I just don't sugarcoat it. Okay? They said they wanted to start seeing me more into the Dabbleverse, wanted me to get out. I'm doing that. I'm making the rounds. Until I get a steady at this podcast and where I'm making some decent money, I'm going to rely on my fans to get me there, just like Tukey relies on things and how everybody else when they raise stuff for people. Okay? You guys love this. We love you. Oh, money just came in my Cash App. Somebody just sent me some money. I think that's what it was. You heard that, right? Who just donated? Somebody donated. Let me see. Probably was cool enough. Anyhow, I'm not going to expose them because, you know, I do see PayPal gives me who you really are. Some people are gun shy about that. I would never tell anybody who you really are, your name. But you go to Venmo. I'm going to put this stuff up. Private chat. Who's private? I'm going to my iPad about to die. Oh, that's what happened. Commissioner. All right, Commissioner. We love you, buddy. Peace out. So now I'm going to go to the banners and we're going to, this is for to donate. Here we go. That's the ticker. There's my PayPal at JoeyC0120. Let's see here. Here's one that's got my PayPal, my Venmo. This is the one, and my Cash App. Make sure you put DabbleCon in there. Our goal is $1,000. We got, today's what, the 20th. So we got less than a month. We got 26 days. I'm leaving on the 14th to drive. So I got to the 13th. So I got 11 days this month. 13 and 11 is 24. 24 days we'll be running this goal. And we like to get $1,000 to make everything right. We got, you know, we got Venom will be with us. Kahuna's part of us, so we want to take care of him. And that, you know, this is a business trip now. This one counts. Okay, so you guys that love us, you know I do right. You know I'm nothing what these people make me out do. We did the trip right. We did 13 streams. But this time it's going to be nonstop. I was just a guest and a fan. And a lot of people got sick in Vegas. That change of weather and whatever was flying in the air, man. I was sick for 3 weeks when I got home, and so I missed the nighttime on the Saturday. I did get to go. I just show for Carl's Day. I was deathly sick. I slept from Saturday at 6 o'clock in that hotel room till I had to fly out. Oh, some more money just came in. Wow, you guys are great. All right, it's like the Norm Macdonald jokes. The worst thing about Bill Cosby was his hypocrisy. Now the raping was pretty bad too. You're the best, Donks. I'm doing what, babe? I have to. Right. I wasn't going to really promote it because people know we got to get the Abacon. People are already saying, "Oh, how you getting the money now? You're going to be begging." I got to go. You want to call it begging call. We're financially not ready to do this, but it's time to do all these rounds. And surely you'll probably figure out a way to get some money. I mean, he gave us a good night money. Kahuna Nui, who's part of the show, he helped us up. A lot of people donated to want us to go. And if I had the money and I was a millionaire, I would fly every one of you guys to DabbleCon. That's how generous I am. I share in the wealth. So yes, the goal is 1,000. Everything's across the ticker. If you want to get us there, we're trying to raise 1,000. Let's do this. We got 24 days to do that. All right. Enough said. I'll put it up, post it. All right. That's it. I don't think a commissioner has chimes in. I don't think the commissioner has chime in about 50 minutes. Oh, I don't know about that, Dream Man. Spider will age another 15 years by then. Time he and Joey get to New York. No. I really think the highest regard to him. He's a good person. He really is. Let's see what Dream Man said. What does a bat boy become bad boy? We already read this. I've rambled on enough. I've shared a lot of stuff with you guys. I love you guys. Okay. That's pretty funny though. Dream Man, I'm walking everybody. Commish, that's funny, Kahuna. Kahuna's pretty funny. Again, guys, that's all the information for DabbleCon 2. It's gonna be a big event. And this one is for Catalan TV. And we're gonna be amongst people that really we love and they love us. And this one's for you guys. This one's a business one. This one's the one we want to go into the next level as we mature to become a great channel and great show for you guys. All right. We're gonna play another Suno AI song that I wrote some of the lyrics and put together, a little rap song I did one for me and Kuhn in the morning. I'll play a couple of them as we go out here, and then I'll play the outro. Thank you guys for everything, man. I mean that. I enjoyed myself tonight. I like talking about baseball, and I had a lot of use here, but still, I got quite a bit hanging. Thank you for everything, guys, from the bottom of my heart. We'll see you. I'm going to do something tomorrow, special for you guys, and let's hit that goal. Let's hit the goal, right? Come on, people. Dig deep. Let's hit the goal, right? Ciao. Sayonara. All right? You guys get it? All right. Vince, where you at? I need your help, Vince. I know you're watching. VTL. Where you at? Where's my Taco Bell at? Somebody send me Taco Bell, please. Please, it's on 50th. Right here. Someone order me some Taco Bell and have it delivered here, okay? Like Vince does to me, right? Let's go, people. Show some love. Let's go. They're going to call me begging. I might as well do it anyhow. I might as well be a low-cow beggar if they're going to call me it. I might as well play the part. I got no shame. I don't care. Because I know the real me, and most of you know the real me. This is all fun and games. Please send me Taco Bell immediately. It's a rush job, all right? All right, guys. I had fun tonight. I got to be myself. Thank you. But I can't find the song. I don't know where it's at. I'm in the wrong thing, I think. Oh, boy. Here we go. You know what? Wait a minute.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled program.
Wait a minute. We just got this in. Breaking news.
All right. My elevator music. Again, thank you for a wonderful week. Thank you, everybody that's donated. Thank you, all the people that have bought memberships, gifted memberships. We're 430 memberships in, 70 away from 500. Eat your heart out, Rocco and Tukey. You said I was a loser and I was no talent. Well, I got to have something right because I got 430 memberships. And that just don't come because I'm an idiot. Because people care and humble me. So, Rocco, eat my ass. Miss Kitty, another gifted membership. Oh my, is that sitting on me? Oh, I think I gotta come back on. Miss Kitty with 2 more gifted memberships. I love you, Miss Kitty. Miss me think the world of you. We now have 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11 today on the 221, 231. 232, 68 away. We love you guys. Enjoy it. Thank you, Miss Kitty. Another 11 in tonight. We're doing well. We got a lot of stuff for you guys. I'm Joey C. I'm Steve Joe in the morning. I'm Joey Night. In Diamonds, AKA. Whatever you want me to be. Here to entertain you. And I think I really dig in this stuff. I like it.
show. Joe said hello, coffee, steam, rise, sunrise glow. Mix it with the beats, got the rhythm, let it go. Rooster crow, radio blast, moving fast. Bodies grooving, never snoozing, ain't no first class. Kahuna Nui dance moves, people's drinks shatter. Joe's laughter contagious, next thing don't matter. Morning show madness, dunks and song brews. CC Joe, Kahuna Nui, can't refuse. Wake up, shake up, sunrise, muse. Swag tripping heavy, no snooze abuse. Headlines read like a joke, can't help but poke. Weather report, Kahuna Nui chokes on his coke. Traffic jams, Joe spins, make head smoke. Listeners buzzing, all fired up, no joke. Morning chat, cat napping, no way. Coffee sip, Joe slip, hooray. Kahuna Nui antics replay. Morning laugh track every day. Morning show madness, don'ts and strong brews. 60 Joe, Kahuna Nui, can't refuse. Wake up, shake up, sunrise, muse. Swag tripping heavy, no snooze abuse.
Green Man, I'll deliver the message. Billy, my man, I believe in you, brother. Love you. Everything will be all right, man. It's night.
Wake up, shake up, sunrise, muse. Swag tripping heavy, no snooze abuse. Crack a door, CC Joe on the mic, morning flow. Big Kahuna Nui in the back, crazy like a show. Joe said hello, coffee, steam, rise, sunrise, glow. Mix it with the beats, got the rhythm, let it go. Rooster crow, radio blast, moving fast. Bodies grooving, never snoozing, ain't no first class. Kahuna Nui dance.
One boasting the longest-running, most successful entertainment spectacular in America. A professional gambler who Sports Illustrated has acclaimed as the best football handicapper in America. A man who will take you inside sports as no one else has ever done before.
Yeah, get out of here, bro. I do the introductions around here. It's the DJ interview show starring DJ. It's the Joey C Show. Pescatelli and the Joey C. Band. Musical guest Casey and the Sunshine Band. The magician Anthony Fratelli Jr. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, the man with the plan, the new godfather of broadcasting, Joe. all my stress. Check it out, yo. Feel the rhythm on the bass mark. Man, I feel the rhythm on the bass mark. Hip and the drum and come around, run, test me. Jump it up, it up. Bite all my stress. Temperature is rising up. 2,000 people on the dance floor. Jumping up.
Oh yeah, Joey C's walk and talk. It's a sight to see. He's got the moves, he's got the groove. Oh, can't you see? Joey C's walk and talk. It's a melody, catching all the attention, making heads turn. Can't you see? Oh yeah, Joey C's walk and talk. It's a sight to see. He's got the moves, he's got the groove. Oh, can't you see? Joey C's walk and talk. It's a melody, catching all the attention, making heads turn. Can't you see?
See, laughing loud on TV. Car with those guitar leads, Spider's drum beat melody. Honeybee laughs and sneezes, good vibes always pleases. Kahuna knew we never slow, makes the good times flow. Catalina TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. That make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gathered round, living in the sound, joy in every beat, dancing in our seat. Catalina TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. Make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gather round, living in the sound, joy in every beat, dancing in our seat.
Joey Nite, shadow in the dark. Through the streets like a fiddle, leave a mark. Bad man, title earned scars from the struggle. Tangle with the devil, got grit in the hustle. Battle first, ever thirst for second place. Eyes like steel, put a punk in the place. Locked in the cipher, words cut like blades. Galverse warrior, born and raised. Joey Nite, baddest man on the scene. City lights shiver when he steps in the beam. Galverse royalty, crown never dull. Stride like a panther, mind always full. Caught in the crossfire, he dances with fate. Witty with the wordplay, venom in his state. Narrative at nights where danger's breath lingers. Villains fall silent, can't outmatch his stingers. From alleys to stages, wielding heavy artillery. Death in his bars beyond just the imagery. Heart in the beat, soul in the spit. Legacy of a legend, nothing counterfeit. Joey